Hey, I'm your host, Anthony Tank Mansfield, and with me today is
Cody Hucker.
And this is What You Into.
What you into? What you into?
Now, I fucked with you on that one because what I did was I just went ahead and I was like, wait, I forgot to replay the bumper. So now we're actually talking. Like this is the
We're
intro.
on?
Yeah, dude.
This is what they're paying for. This is your Patreon tier right here that we're listening
I
to.
don't have a Patreon tier. They're getting
What
it
are you doing? I brought this up just to shit on you right in the beginning. Listeners, tell him he needs to fucking have a Patreon tier so you sweet folks can pay him some money for this show. Get a Patreon. Come on, what are you doing? Don't even do extra content. Just be like, give me money. Give me money. I'll upload the same content on Patreon, but this time for money.
Yeah, just like, look, here's the deal. What you were getting before for free, now you're getting half of it, but now you got to pay.
Whatever podcast would do that is a scumbag podcast hosted by three scumbags called The Bastards. we literally used to do 3 hours of content. We were like, what if we cut this in half and sold it to people? They were like, here's hundreds of dollars. And I was like, wah, I'm quitting. Wah.
You're getting less, but it's all gold.
Yes. No, it's me, the most drunk that I'll be during the entire podcast. And with the worst jokes. Not like, oh, they're so edgy that they're fucked up, but they're still... No, I'm too drunk to make a coherent sentence. So you're actually paying for the worst part of the show.
I'm gonna stick with this free model and see where it takes me. After that sterling review. Hey man, so what is this? Is this fourth time on the show? Are you with Flair Club now?
I think the first time that we did it was
stand-up comedians.
Stand-up comedians. Then it was Tarantino. Then it was fucking
Terminator.
Terminator.
Oh,
Predator.
and then Predator.
Fifth. I'm number 5.
Fifth. Shit, I don't have a fifth tier yet.
Am I the only fifth one?
No, Jamie's been on here.
Damn.
I think Jamie's been on like 27 times
Fuck.
now. Jamie lives here.
Dude, I'm going to fight Jamie. Not really, because I've
No,
met
you'll get
Jamie.
fucked up.
Scary guy. No thanks.
Dude might pop up just during the podcast. Or just,
dude, that would be so scary.
Random Jamie
If he
appearance.
just crawled in through one of your tiny windows.
He
and
might.
Just appeared.
He's part ninja.
He seems like he's part cat. Like, you know how a cat, if its head fits through something, the rest of his body can? I feel like Jamie has just, through years of jujitsu and being a badass, he could do the same thing with his full-grown man-ass body.
He looks like one of those hairless cats. You know, he's got that.
The one that Ari Shaffir looks like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got that look.
I can see it, but with tattoos.
But with tattoos.
Did you see the cat that got rescued from fucking from it was a hairless cat that was tattooed up that was in a Mexican prison gang?
Jesus.
They rescued this cat, and now this cat's just got gangster ass fucking cholo tattoos on it. I feel like that's Jamie's story if he was a cat. Yes, no,
how do
maybe.
You think? Do you think the cat is now running the shelter that it's in? Like,
dude,
yeah. Do you think it's treating it like a prison?
Yeah, fucking other boy cats in the ass because of transgressions that couldn't be fixed by books of stamps as payment.
He's taking out other cats, just fucking them up. He's got dogs that are scared of him.
Yeah, dude. He's doing business with the dogs on the side, but like if he sees one of his cat bros eating with the dogs, that's immediate death. Like,
yeah,
in the kennel.
Yeah, he's like, you can't be putting that out here.
Yeah. He hands him a needle, hit him with the parvo needle, dude. Do cats get parvo? Hit him with the feline AIDS needle. I thought we were going to start with Sopranos. I fucked this all up.
Damn, dude. It is rough in the shoulders.
Also, shout out Jamie Filer. Oh, shit. I don't even really know you, but you make some hilarious comic books the Tank has next to his record collection, and I love looking at them every time. What up, Jamie Filer?
You just like them because they're just pornography?
They're just pornography, and I beat off to them secretly, but my pants are tight, so he knows what's going on. But he dare not stop me. He dare not stop me.
It's one of those things where I'm just like, maybe he won't talk as much if he just like busts one out in the bathroom. Like he'll go from a 9 to just maybe a moderate 7.
Nope, right back to 11. Every time.
Well, if you want to follow Cody online, you can check him out as IG at Cody Hucker. Also, Facebook, Cody Hucker. You know where to find me at neiltoknowan.com, and at neiltoknowan is the Instagram. And then, if there's any of it left in the city of Cincinnati, look for Ransom Rabbit Holes, the beer that I did with High Grain Brewing. And I'm not sure if they still have it on tap or not at their place, but they're out of cans. So, all right, man.
Wait. Can I fuck up your podcast one more time?
Yeah, go for it.
You said there was a listener that hated me originally and came back around, and I just want to say, suck it. Yeah, that's how it always works. Oh, shit. Yeah, you started not liking me, and now you like me. Yeah.
That is
now she hates me again.
I don't know. That is the deal. Like it's one of those things where if the first few times you hear Cody on a podcast, like you're probably like, I don't know if I like this guy or not. And then after a while,
you're like, God, I definitely don't like him. And then after a way longer time, like, I guess he's gonna keep having him on. Fuck, I like his podcast. I'm gonna keep listening. Then you're like, I guess he's okay.
Well, man, I'm excited for you to come back and get through. Well, not get through, but to have this conversation with me. Jesus Christ, that's a bad way to say. It's like, well, thank you for signing up to do the mission nobody else wanted to. No, fuck that. You come on at this point, the majority of the time for collection episodes. And in the past, it's been all movies. I believe this is the first ever TV episode we've ever done of a show. And so today we're doing Sopranos. I'm excited, but this, like I was telling you off the mic, is a daunting task. And just a quick warning to all the Sopranos fans that are probably inevitably listening to this, every episode feels like an entire full-length movie. There is so much to pick apart. There's so many characters. There's so much character development in 7 seasons that I feel like I'm going to fuck this whole thing up, and I didn't bring my notes. I have a lot here, and I have a lot to say, and I'm fucking excited about it, but I am worried that I'm going to miss a lot of stuff or like fuck a lot of stuff up like timeline wise, but nonetheless, I'm still very excited to do this with you. And thanks for having me back in the basement. This basement fucking rips. And I just want to on the mic say anybody that hasn't been down here invited to do a show, shoo-wee, dude, this is a fucking great place to record a podcast. I love the chill down here. It's such a good vibe. Thanks, man.
Let's get into it. All right. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally cool. And listener, I'm going to do some housekeeping up front here as well. Number one, spoilers. This whole thing is spoilers. So if for some reason you have not seen The Sopranos, and instead of going to the HBO app, or I think it's even on Amazon right now because the series is sold, you can get it for free through Amazon Prime. If you're like, you know what? I've avoided spoilers up until now, but 20 years later, now's the time I'm gonna get pissed. So fuck you. This thing is spoiler laden. And then number two, there's only so deep we can get into this podcast. I mean, as Cody was saying, like you're talking 6 seasons. Technically, I mean, the 6th season is a 2-part, like 12 episode front end, 12 episode back end, and all the other seasons 1 through 5 are 13 episodes apiece. So it's a gigantic fucking series.
It's a huge undertaking, and we've only got how long are we gonna do this for? Like 2, 3
hours?
maybe
2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours. Somewhere,
cool.
A little bit of change.
Gotcha.
I mean, but yeah. So, all right. Now that we all know the rules and everything up front, let's dive in.
Let's go.
All right. So, look, man. One of the most important television series of all time. One of the most groundbreaking, world-changing series of all time. I mean, I really feel like this television show changed what the mainstream world saw as what you could do with the television series, because before everything was like CBS and NBC, and you couldn't say fuck and nothing super violent was going to happen, and there was a story, but it wasn't akin to seeing something like a movie, whereas that's what HBO had dealt with for years. Was it's a channel that showed fucking movies, and so they didn't like have any qualms with putting shit out there like Oz before this, and then it was like, oh, let's put this like Modern Family mob crime drama out that exists in the world as it is now, but it just in the world of New Jersey, and it changed everything.
And it wasn't supposed to be that originally, because the show was pitched to network television originally. It was supposed to be a Fox show, and Fox didn't pick it up. Can you imagine if The Sopranos had to be edited for fucking primetime cable television? It would have devastated this fucking show. I mean, even with the same actors, if you can't say fuck, if you can't show tits at the bada bing, if you can't show the graphic violence that they showed, if you can't communicate the way that these people communicated in real life,
right?
And if you had to edit out certain things because it's not good primetime, it would have completely ruined this fucking series. So to say that it's groundbreaking is like, it almost wasn't, and there was no, like, I don't know that David Chase was going out of his way to do something groundbreaking. I think that he was just, as a last resort, had to go to HBO, which probably hadn't dealt with a show on this level. Like, it had done some, like, animated shit, like the Spawn animated series was fucking graphic and fucked up, but it only went for a couple episodes. They couldn't get a lot of views on it. HBO is the place that people went to for, like, edgy stand-up comedy and shit like that, and fucking movies uncensored at a certain time. It wasn't all on demand when this came out, because the series premiered in 99.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have an HBO on demand. You'd have an HBO fucking movie channel, and then you could see tits and fucking, they'd say fuck. And if they did, or they'd have like Real Sex, the documentary series where they're going out there
late at night, like softcore porno shit.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no like, all David Chase probably knew at that time was that, oh, I could tell this story the way that I want to tell it. Maybe it'll run a pilot and they won't like it and won't get picked back up again. I listened to that fucking Talking Sopranos podcast with Steve Schripper and Michael Imperioli, which is Bobby Baklava and fucking Christopher Moltisanti.
Nice.
And they break down every single fucking episode of The Sopranos. And Michael Imperioli hadn't watched the series. I'm going to go way too deep before we even get to the beginning of the fucking first season, but just as a setup for the series and how I got into it and how fucking involved in the story of this, they break down every episode and they have different people on. Well, they had Robert Eiler on, which is the guy that did Anthony Jr. So Anthony Jr. is on there talking on one of the episodes about how his family got excited because he was 12 years old when he started, right? And fucking his whole family's like, told him at school, his mom calls the fucking office, tells him to go to the office, gets a phone call from his mom to tell him, you're filming the pilot of The Sopranos. They loved you. Go and fucking like finish out your school day. Then we're going to travel over here, blah, blah, blah. He gets there, and I guess James Gandolfini told him like, kid, they do pilots for television shows every day. This probably isn't going to be everything that it was cut out to be. Just don't get your fucking hopes up. And he was so disappointed. Like, and everybody was. Really, they didn't know that this thing was going to turn into what it fucking turned into. But, man, it took off in a way that no other, like, television show has probably ever taken off ever. I mean, there's the sitcoms like Friends and shit like that at this time. And the fucking, what else is in 99 television? You'd know better than me. I was a little kid in 99.
I mean, it really was. That was like that Thursday night block of shit that would be on.
Did you call it inane bullshit? That's what.
No, block of shit. Well, because Thursday nights were like NBC's big nights. That's when like Seinfeld was on, and then Friends, and then I think The Office was on later at that point. And then
I mean, that's all stupid inane bullshit.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have anything funny stuff. Was the stuff that took off. Like if you try to do a serious series, I mean, you get like a fucking NYPD Blue before that, or like a fucking like
Melrose Place.
Sure,
where it was kind of sexy and shit.
And it was kind of that shit that your grand or your mom watched at night or whatever the fuck. You didn't take it serious. You didn't want to watch that drama series. The Sopranos figured out how to mix like comedy with fucking like a family drama that's like very focused on the family of like every character. It starts off with just the fucking, and it mainly is just the Soprano family, but it branches out to everybody's, which is what makes it so relatable. But then you incorporate the ability to say fuck, show tits, and fucking talk about a mob lifestyle in an accurate way with great actors, with fucking like people that actually, and we'll get into all this, but the people that like grew up around these people in fucking Brooklyn and like all these different neighborhoods in New York back in the the 60s and 70s. Like Paulie Walnuts was a real gangster. Like the one of the underbosses, one of the capos, I forget his name. He got convicted in 2009 for a fucking like being involved in the Gambino family. This is years after The Sopranos. He's in fucking 3 of the seasons for like torturing somebody. It was crazy, and then fucking got out of it miraculously because the lawyer made some type of like junior soprano lawyer defense for him. That's real life. It's like these are the people that were in the show. Can't overstate how fucking like what an impact that it made. Like I'm sorry that I'm speaking so fucking boisterously about it, but it is not. It's like a groundbreaking show for everybody. It's not just your assessment or my assessment. That's what everybody says. This laid the fucking pavement for the rest of the highways and roads to be built for all of television.
Well, without the show, like you don't have The Wire. You don't end up having The Shield. You don't end up having Justified.
You don't let FX take a chance on something like The Shield or like Rescue. I didn't like Rescue Me, but or Nip Tuck. They did that because they saw what The Sopranos did, and they were like, "Oh fuck! What if we just like pushed it TV-14? We can't say fuck, but we could say shit. We could show graphic violence. What if we did that? Pushed it all the way to exactly. FX is a great example of how this made it to mainstream television, and it's because of The Sopranos. The Sopranos influences The Wire. FX is like, what are we doing? Fucking missing money here?
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to lose money. How do we make gritty television shows? And you get a series of gritty fucking television that comes out of this.
And FX was smart by that to like look and see what was being done and being like, okay, we got to water this down a little bit to make it for cable TV and not for a premium pay channel, but we can do that.
How soon into The Sopranos being out did you get into The Sopranos?
So I missed I caught The Sopranos. I want to say like maybe 3 seasons into its first run, and then watched.
Where are you at in life? What's your place in life?
I'm in college, so I'm like 20.
Are all your friends talking about this? Is this the fucking talk of the campus?
And I wouldn't say talk at the campus, but definitely it was like a show people were watching. And but basically, what was something that would hold it back would be having the money to throw in to buy HBO, because we're broke college kids, so nobody's really wanting to slide the extra money out to get HBO. And then at one point, it got to a point where we finally did, because there was some package deal. I want to say like my junior or senior year, and we were like, "Fuck it, we'll get HBO." And so then we were watching the show, and then after that, I went back and I ended up getting, I just going to the library and getting every, box set. I would just take the box set out, and then I would just watch everything in chronological
I had a
order.
scumbag uncle that would take this home and burn them, and then we would have
That's the
like
move.
DVDs at the house that we could keep for forever with that shit. I was a little kid when this thing came out, but my dad and my stepmom were watching. My mom, she's got good movie taste, all fucking horror movies and Tarantino movies and shit, but she likes good shit. She hates mob shit, can't stand it. My dad fucking loved it, showed me Goodfellas at way too early, Casino way too early, Mean Streets. I watched like shit. I'm watching shit that fucking like at that time 30-year-olds are talking about when I'm fucking a little kid. And I wasn't really watching Sopranos with them, but I was like, fuck, I want to watch Pokemon, or I want to watch something that I have like recorded on the Time Warner cable box. They're watching this mob show. Then I'd sit back and watch it, and all this crazy shit would happen. So that was my first time watching it, was as the series came out, but I wasn't absorbing it. I didn't really rewatch it, like actually try to give a fuck about it until I was probably in high school. And I was like, this is one of these shows that I got to go back and rewatch.
I think the mob thing's also an interesting angle with the show, because I can't really think of another like mob TV show on this level, especially at that time. And then also the idea of like, you brought up the idea like the mob movies that were out there, and it was The Godfather, and then anything by Scorsese you were going to compare it to. And fuck, dude, that is tough sledding to have to live up to either of those things.
And then imagine you get fucking Scorsese in your series.
Right.
That's in season 1. They fucking Christopher and fucking Brendan go to the club. Scorsese's walking through the club, and you're like, did Scorsese just make a fucking cameo in this thing?
Yes.
That they're for sure going to get compared to, which is definitely like, you can't pay Scorsese to come do something. Like, you have to if he does it, but he did that because he's basically he's kissing your cheeks like you're in Italy. Like, he's giving you the fucking...
Yeah, he's giving you the thumbs up.
Yeah, he's the Don of making this type of content. If he's in it, holy shit, fucking shit, holy fucking shit. That's crazy.
That's a major tip of the cap. That's a major thumbs up to people watching it.
Absolutely.
So, okay, starting out like the first episode, the theme song.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. The opening is so iconic to this fucking... And
I don't skip it ever. I always watch it. It's still
the
good.
jam.
I'm cool. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, dude. Do you ever play it in the car?
Yeah, of course.
That fucking song rules, dude.
I'm trying to imagine Tony Soprano actually listening to this fucking song, because there's no way he is. He's listening to Kansas or Styx or some other classic rock thing. There's no way that Tony Soprano is listening. Woke up this morning and like this whole bullshit.
Right.
And then also just like the drive in through Jersey, and you're seeing all the bridges and shit.
I
and all
love that
buildings.
about even the intro is like, you see this gritty ass fucking shit under construction. You're under a bridge for most of it, and then he pulls up on his nice ass house, and it's like, if this isn't like an explanation from the show and just an intro, like, I don't know what the fuck is. Like, powerful ass song, Tony Soprano smoking a fucking cigar in his SUV, like, let's go. Like, I'm ready for it. He's got a fucking gun in the dash. Like, yeah, dude, like this. I don't know. Keep going.
So let's lay out the first season here real quick. So this is from everything that I'm reading here at the top. I'm going to give you the season breakdown and air dates. This is all brought to you by the Sopranos wiki. You can find it online, and it's got it out there. And I'm guessing this is all ripped off for the back of the DVD box sets, but here we go. So the Sopranos initially drops January 10th, April 4th. Oh, sorry. From January 10th to April 4th, 1999 is the first season. And the season introduces the DeMio crime family capo, Tony Soprano, and his family, as well as his troubled relationship with his mother, Livia. Is it?
Yeah, it's Livia.
Livia.
It's the Mayo crime family. Sorry to be such a cunt.
No, go for it. Please correct me, because there is sometimes when I'm going to fuck these names up. Also troubled in his relationship with his uncle Junior, who becomes locked in a power struggle with Tony after the death of the crime family boss, Jackie April. Tony also begins therapy sessions with Dr. Jennifer Melfi after his panic attacks become more frequent. Meanwhile, Tony's daughter Meadow becomes aware of her father's true profession while preparing to get into college, and Tony's nephew Christopher attempts to write a screenplay about his crime life and anxiously awaits becoming a made man. Due to Junior's plotting of an assassination, Tony also gets embroiled in a plot against childhood friend Artie Bucca, a charming but obnoxious restaurateur.
He runs Vesuvius.
He does. All right, so let's kind of get into some of the highlights of the season. So Junior versus Christopher and Brendan for the truck hijacking, and Brendan's killed. So this kind of already starts us off in the beginning where Tony's doing his thing, Christopher's trying to move up, he's trying to earn, Junior's still around.
Christopher feels like he's already made his fucking bones. Like he's already killed some people for Tony. Mm-hmm. He's already done some dirt. He's like, why the fuck am I not made yet? Tony's telling him, relax. And you get the impression that they're cousins, right? Because it's what they say. Mm-hmm. You find out later in the series they're not, but whatever. It's fucking dumb Italian shit. Gabagool, my cousin. Oh, yeah, it's fucking dice impressions all night. That's what I'm doing. But
and they have kind of like a father-son relationship almost. Even though they're cousins, like it's definitely more that Tony is the bigger brother kind of feel, or like uncles kind of feel.
Absolutely.
Like he's definitely there to tell Christopher when he's fucking up.
Absolutely, yeah. But so he's still having to do dirt for the family. So he wants to make some money because even the people that you find out through the series, which is what you love about it, the world building of it and finding out about all the different characters, even when you're at a certain level, you're not necessarily making a lot of money. A lot of these people are doing this to feed their narcissism and to eventually, hopefully, get to like some place where they can fucking like make serious money or be the boss or be the king fucking narcissist for however long that lasts. So Christopher's trying to get to that point where he's a made guy, where he can actually get into the fucking shit, and he can't make any money. So he's basically like, fuck Tony, he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm gonna start like stealing trucks with my friend Brendan, and he keeps stealing fucking Tony's uncle's trucks. Junior, Corrado Soprano's fucking they've all got these different fucking rackets that they're running, right? And he keeps fucking stealing their trucks constantly until Junior feels like he's got to do something about it because Tony's not addressing it correctly. Because Tony's kind of getting a little taste of every one of these truck hijacking. He's like slapping Chris and Brendan around, being like, you fucking idiots. Anyways, thanks for the $3,000 that I made off this truck hijacking. Right. Now go say sorry, like slapping them on the wrist. So Junior's like, fuck that. I'm going to go have Brendan killed and have like Christopher like scare the piss out of him, make him think that he's going to be murdered, and then fucking send him on his way.
Yeah, and so I think you bring up a really good point there about the money thing that gets shown in this show and the hierarchy as well that goes along with that. Yeah, where it's like where Christopher and Brendan are both willing to risk to get that money because throughout the show, Christopher lives in like a 2-bedroom apartment in New Jersey. Yeah. He's never living anything great. Polly lives in a fucking dump. Yeah, like Polly's house is not nice at all. Yeah, and then Tony's got like a McMansion. Like it's not something that it's nice, but it's not anything. It's not like a crazy thing where it's like, oh, a fucking CEO or like a professional level athlete lives here. Like it's a really nice home in a big suburb.
Right.
So yeah, I think they drilled.
The fucking mob is a pyramid scheme for sure.
Yes,
as
definitely.
you go up, there's way less blocks at the top, and those blocks are fucking taking all the money for sure.
Indeed. And I think it really sets up the show well by showing you that within the first 2 episodes. Like, look, here's how this works. Here's how we're motivating people. And yeah, and
it's a multi-level marketing scheme with felonies. It's fucking crazy.
It is.
With felonies and life sentences involved and murder.
In the possibility like one of your best friends might shoot you.
That's organized crime in a nutshell is what it teaches you. Yeah. It also shows you how the mob makes money because you're always like, how the fuck? Like, you kind of get an idea that they're like running numbers or gambling shit. The show really gets to dive into like all the different like multi-level marketing shit that all their soldiers have to do to pay the capo regime that has to pay the underboss that has to then pay the boss of the family. Like, unless you're at the very top rungs, you're not making
you're not making
You're just
money.
a worker bee, for real.
Exactly, 100%. okay, one of my favorite episodes, and I think one of the episodes that really stands out in the first episode or the first season is episode 5, where it's Tony and Meadow going to a college.
It's called College.
Yeah. And Tony ends up seeing a guy who informed on them and ends up killing him.
Yeah, his name's like Frappuccino or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got some goofy ass Guido name.
Well, and then there's the whole thing where they're going out there or at some point, like they're in the SUV and Meadow's like, Dad, are you in the mafia? And I think you are. And he's like, I'm a sanitation. What's everybody's asking questions? And like he's offended. He's offended that Meadow would even ask. And it's like, dude, she's like a 18-year-old woman going to college. Like she can kind of figure out the shit you're doing is not on the up and up.
You're also they're doing a good job of like character development with Meadow, where you're starting to realize that Meadow is like very much his daughter. Like she kind of has like a feel for what's going on. She knows how to say just enough to get her point across, and like you're really developing that character very well throughout the series. But it's a good like establishment piece for her specifically, and to see the dynamic between father and daughter. It's also good as just a standalone episode. Like that episode has really nothing to do with like you could get rid of that episode and nothing would change as far as the story went, but everything would change as far as how you felt about the first season, because that's like everyone's favorite episode from the first season because it's just done so well. It's shot well, it looks good, the dialogue's great. There's only a couple characters you're paying attention to throughout the entire fucking thing, and then you get to see Tony kill somebody for the first time on camera. That's the striking part. HBO didn't want them to do that. They told David Chase, hey, you've just built the most compelling fucking TV show character of all time. Now you're going to have him in cold blood murder a man while he's like off trying to show his daughter like a college and lying to her the whole time and putting on a front the entire time, which she's trying to break down through this like father-daughter experience. Like I want to get like, that's why she's asking about the mob finally. She's trying to admit to doing the crystal meth. She's talking about certain things in the car with him where it's like we're trying to build this bond and we're getting closer to that. And the whole time you really start to see how much of a sociopath he is.
Yes.
Like,
and that's the underlying characteristic of Tony Soprano is he is a total sociopath. And it truly underscores it, because that's the thing is throughout the series, there's a lot of times where you're on Tony's side and you're cheering for Tony. And then Tony does a real shit bag, scumbag fucking move. And you're like, what the hell, dude? And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot, you're a piece of shit criminal. Like you're not a nice guy.
That's why they didn't want him to do it. But David Chase was like, I have to do it because exactly what you just described is the whole, like, this is the whole breakdown of the character. This is what I'm trying to eventually get to, hopefully. Yeah. If you give me enough time, like, I have to show him murdering somebody in cold blood because this is who he is at his core. And he's even fighting that. He's trying to, like, lie to himself throughout the series that he's not that guy.
And he's in volatile relationships with everybody in his life, you know, and he's lying to everybody in his life constantly. I'm trying to think if there's anybody on the show that Tony is truthful with 100% of the time. I can't even begin to think of anybody. Nobody. Yeah, because Tony is a great white shark. He is all about himself. And he, you know, I think he loves his kids. He loves Carmela in a way.
Right. It's more of a control thing.
Yeah.
It's like a kid when you see your kid playing with, or when your kid sees another kid playing with his toys. Yeah. It's like, oh, I was playing with everything else, but now that he's playing with it, I can't fuck that, fuck you, that's my toy. Yeah. And then as soon as you have it back, he just drops it immediately. It's like, that's Carmela for him. Yeah. That's every contact that he has as far as like, it doesn't matter how long he's known somebody, it's all about the money. It doesn't fucking matter. Fuck you, fuck your feelings. In the first season, there's the Tennessee and Maltasani episode where Christopher's going through it the entire time and fucking like freaking out, like having these bad dreams and shit. And fucking he shows up late and he's like, I'm sorry I'm late. Paulie told you I was going through. And he fucking slaps him right in the face. And he's like, wipe my ass with your feelings. Yeah. And it was like, holy shit. He's like cocked his fist back. And he's like, oh, sorry if I can explain myself. He's like, fuck that. I tell you to be here. You be here on time. Oh. Yeah. And it's like, holy shit. Like this is your guy that you love. Your best friend that you grew up with, Dickie Maltasanti's kid that you're trying to mentor, and this is how you fucking treat him. And that's how he treats everybody in his fucking life. Like he's not. Yeah, it's a good assessment.
It's scary how quickly Tony will turn to extreme violence. Right. Like there's a lot of times, and the other thing that makes it scary when Tony is violent is sometimes he's emotional and he's aggressive and he kind of loses it. But there's a lot of times where Tony is very calculated and he's murdering people and he doesn't even seem to be breaking a sweat. Right. Like it's just, this is a means to an end and a thing that has to be done.
In college where he straps the garrote around dude's neck and he's like, he took an oath. Like, just
Ended him.
That's the fucking end of it. Like, you took into that's just where his brain's at. Or the other violent aspect in the first season is it's a funny thing, but it's what makes it. You're like rooting for a sociopath. This is the first time where it's like, I don't even know if it's an anti-hero. He's a straight up villain. You're rooting for a straight up villain the entire time.
Yeah. And
it's like, why am I rooting for him? And that's what makes it so fucking compelling. Like, it's the bouncer's name at the bottom bang. What's his name? Georgie? Georgie, what, Espada or something. But Georgie's over there fucking with the phones, and he can't get the phones right. He's fucked it up a couple times during the episode, and he's like, I don't know how these phones work. And he's like, oh, press 0 for the... And he's like, hello, are you still there? And Tony just grabs his phone and beats the fuck out of him with the phone. And you're laughing, but it's also like, he's assaulting his employee, or not even his, Sill's employee, inside of a fucking club in public. Like, this is crazy. Like, this guy's a fucking psychopath. He's getting upset at this guy for just being a buffoon, like, just being a complete moron, and he just can't help it. Just extreme violence. It's like a switch.
Flips. Yeah, exactly. Back to Meadow real quick. I want to touch on this as well. It's also interesting is I didn't notice until watching clips today, but Tony is very much conservative politics and Meadow is very much Democratic politics.
1999 liberal politics. Yeah. Now she would be a Republican, but in 1999 she's as far left as you get.
Yeah. So that's also like an interesting part of the show is like them fighting over political stuff. And again, this was like written and being done in real time. And so there was like a lot of stuff where she was bringing up what was like, like we'll get to it later with some of the stuff, but there's definitely a lot of stuff where like you're reminded like Tony's a racist piece of shit, and he definitely has a unique worldview of what he thinks should and should not be.
Unique, but not to that world though. It's they all you find out throughout the series, everybody shares this worldview. Yeah.
So all right. So So let me get back to here we go. All right. One of my favorite parts of the first season, I believe this is in the first season. This cracks me up every time though. Is Tony finds out from Carmela that Junior is eating pussy, and
love that episode. I was gonna bring this up if you did.
Junior's so embarrassed about it. Why is that embarrassing?
It's crazy, and they all eat pussy is the best part of the whole story. Like. Yeah, Carmela brings it up in bed with Tony, and he's like, "Oh, you mean he's whistling through the wheat fields?" She's like, "Don't be nasty about it." And he's like, "Oh, he's a bushman of the fucking whatever." Yeah, I forget the fucking.
She's like, "This is why I can't tell you things. You always take it way too far."
And he was like, "And you guys are all hypocrites. Like, you all do that." And he was like, "Whatever happens in this bed stays in this." She was like, "Oh, once a year, I think I could resist the urge to tattle." And then the camera pans to him, just kind of like. Going through the motions in his head and shit like that. And it starts a war that almost gets Tony fucking killed by his uncle. It's crazy. It's literally fucking he mushes a pie, like Junior mushes a pie in a lady's face.
Woman's face, yeah.
He's like, you couldn't keep your fucking blabbing mouth shut. And she's like, please no, Junior, don't leave me. And it's like it's so well acted. It's the most fucking ridiculous scene of anything ever. Like you're mad at this lady and you're kicking her out of your life and dumping her because she told some people that you ate pussy. And it got back to your boys. And him explaining it in bed, back up though, he's like, why? She's like, why can't anybody know? Like, he was like, well, if you suck a pussy, you'd think that you're a fanook. And they're like, that you're a queer? Like, how would that even? That doesn't even make sense.
That's so backwards.
He's like, well, if you suck a pussy, they think you'd suck anything. She was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, and he was like, I don't make the rules. I just gotta follow them. And then they're in bed having this wonderful moment. He's like, you gotta keep your mouth shut. It makes this very serious thing. They're cuddling in bed. Cuts to them dancing because they're on vacation. And then he gets in her ear and he's whispering. He's like, I was dead serious about that earlier. You can't tell anybody that I eat pussy. What the fuck? Cut to immediately. I'm like, how is this a plot element in the fucking series? And it's such a good series that dumb shit turns into Tony almost getting murdered. I'm jumping ahead of myself, but holy fuck. I mean, the show is crazy. But then it jumps to her in the fucking hair salon, and she's like, obviously been talking about how fucking Corrado eats pussy the entire time. So her girlfriend's bringing it up, and she's like, we used to gab about our sex life. No more. So immediately that girl gets on the phone and fucking tells everybody. Right, everybody. So they're at dinner. Cut to the next scene. They're at fucking the family dinner that they have at Tony's house every Sunday. And he was like, yeah, I don't eat fish like that. And Carmela's like, that's not what I heard. Like, what the fuck does that mean? She was like, oh, nothing. And they just keep sliding in little tiny things until eventually they're at a golfing match and Junior insults Tony. And then he's like, oh, what does that smell? Is that sushi? And he's like, the fuck is he talking about, Mikey? And he was like, I don't know. And he's like, Junior, come on, I didn't know that you were eating Japanese food. I can't believe that you're eating sushi. And he was like, he starts singing some dumb song. He's like, south of the border. Like, just singing stupid songs, like busting his balls about eating pussy. Which, by the way, you already pointed it out, but a crazy fucking thing to bust another man's balls about.
Could
like,
you imagine?
You eat your girl's pussy? This is a crazy, like,
Yeah.
What?
What?
What do you mean? How is this a problem at all? And they fucking, like, Junior's so embarrassed by this at the end of it. He says some super insulting shit to Tony. They go back, him and Mikey, the Grim Reaper, Mikey, whatever, fuck that guy to death, fucking go back to the, to go and take a shower. And he starts talking about wanting to whack his own nephew. A guy that he's known 45 fucking years. Like, I'm gonna kill my own kin because he's talking about me eating pussy. Like, what a fucking bananas plot element. And then you look it up and it's like, Michael Francis is doing stuff about this. And he's like, yeah, I mean, some guys would get fucking crazy about stuff like that. Oh, no. And I was like, this is a real thing?
Yeah.
It's fucking serious?
This is wild.
God damn.
And again, something you could not do on network television at that time. You can have a plot around a man wanting to murder another man for telling the world that he was eating pussy.
That's such a good episode. That is such a good. There's so many good moments.
It's so memorable.
Even we didn't even talk about it, but the way that the first episode starts with him like in therapy, like talking.
Oh yeah,
and it cuts in between him like trying to describe to his therapist without saying what he's actually talking about. Mm-hmm. He's describing like kind of a banal like nonsense thing about how he had to talk to a guy that owes him money to get something out of him, and then he's running a guy down. Like he sees a guy in traffic and he's driving a fucking Beamer like over fucking curb dividers and running him down in front of everybody in front of a fucking insurance building, like driving on the sidewalk. People are jumping out of the way, and he fucking breaks his arm and beats the fuck out of him in front of everybody, pours hot coffee on him, and it's like, that's the opening to the series. Like, god damn, what an impressive first season.
There's so much stuff in this that looking back on it now doesn't make sense in a world with like Ring cameras and shit, because so much of this series is just Tony beating the fuck out of people at restaurants, at bars, in the street, just pretty much wherever. He's just constantly fucking
think about
people
this all the time. Like, you had to have a cop within fucking a 2-block radius, whatever crime you're committing, to have somebody show up immediately. Yeah. Then if somebody calls a cop, they got to find change first. Then they got to get to a payphone. They use the payphone. Then the cops probably already are dog shit, so they're not going to show up. You're in Jersey. All kinds of crimes are being fucking committed. The cops are getting called nonstop. They'll be there in an hour. They're fucking long gone by the time. A cop would have to be witnessing what's happening for them to get in trouble for this. Like,
exactly.
It speaks volumes to what kind of fucking world, how much different did that world from just 20 years ago was.
Yeah.
Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, 2 decades later, and this series could not exist in the way it does.
At all, yeah.
In a way where it's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you couldn't make it modern, like, at all. Like, that's why the mob doesn't exist anymore, because they all relied on exactly that. Now, if you have, like, overwhelming video evidence that could immediately be uploaded to YouTube, a mob can't exist. It really can't. Like, you gotta be on some fucking cartel shit to make it happen, where you literally make so much money that you pay governments off and shit like that.
Yeah, it's a very different world. Oh, okay, so the other thing I had from this season, and then throw in anything else you want for season 1, is the season sets up Tony's mom and Junior just kind of being routinely against him. And this is something that just continues throughout the series. Is like Tony and his mom always have a bad relationship. Tony and Junior always have a pretty bad relationship. I mean, there's times when they do work together, but on the whole, they always seem to be against each other.
Yeah, I mean, it seems so fucked up that that's his family, because he can't wait to plot against him and fucking put him down constantly. And his mom's the same way, and the show's just very self-aware in that first season on so many different levels, that being one of them. Like, it's really breaking down a dysfunctional family in a way that's unflinching, and like talking about like a character that couldn't love his mom more in a culture that is all about motherly respect. Mm-hmm. And your mom's the biggest cunt in the face of the fucking planet, and then you have an actress that's Like, I forget the lady that plays Olivia Soprano, but she's like a classic actress.
She
that's
nails
been around
it
for fucking forever, and she does such a good job of being the fucking worst bitch on the face of the planet. Like, you hate Olivia Soprano. She's one of the worst. You look it up on Reddit or anything. She's one of the most fucking hated characters in the whole series, up there with Ralph and fucking other Richie Aprile and other characters we'll get to. But she is a fucking monster. She is the basis of all of Tony's fucking sociopathy, all of his issues,
Yep.
his anxiety, even everything.
Yeah.
Like, he thinks that he's getting it from his dad, but it's just been exacerbated by shitty family members, like fucking Junior and like fucking his mother. Like, I don't know things that I want to say about the first season before we cut it off.
Well, I guess we didn't really talk. Come to think of it, I forgot to throw in the Melfi thing. So just kind of that's the other big thing is you discovered that Tony Soprano is going to go to a therapist to speak about all this shit, to try and figure out how to deal with shit with his mom and work.
And it's
his
very
family.
taboo for the mob.
Very taboo, like as taboo as eating pussy. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. Do you ever watch those Michael Francis fucking or not documentaries, but the YouTube interviews? Michael Francis ran the biggest gas scam in the entire United States in the 70s. Made billions of dollars when billions of dollars was basically $1 trillion. Now got a big YouTube channel after serving like 20 years in federal penitentiary. He broke down the Sopranos, and he was like, "This is fucking ridiculous. Like, no mobster would ever." Like, he ran the biggest family, one of the 5 families throughout the 70s and 80s. So he really knows what he's talking about. And he had gave this breakdown of how it's completely improbable that he would have done this. And he'd only watched 6 episodes at that time. Mm-hmm. Then he does one recently where he broke down, where he was like, I finally watched everything. Now I get it. I understand. Like, he was like, I thought it was ridiculous immediately. And then he was like, oh, he hasn't been going to therapy the whole time. It's just for a couple months. And it's because he did this. And like, he was like, okay, they made it very real. I understand why people really like this. And he was like, this is actually like a plausible thing that happens, because they get to a point in the show where he's like, I want to tell you before anybody else tells you. Junior's going to use it against me. Ask me all your questions now. I think that's a season 2 thing. But it's like, even that guy was like, I mean, it seems crazy that a guy would go to therapy. I know I never did and shit like that. But even as he's saying it, it's like, you might have though, right? Like, it seems like you're lying. It seems like you're one of these great white sharks. Sorry about the little interruption, listeners. Anyways, to tie it back, that Michael Francis guy, once he broke down everything, he was like, yeah, fucking this actually does make sense. Like, I thought that it was like a mobster that's going through therapy the whole time. Like, didn't make any fucking sense to me. But he was like, yeah, a guy has seen a lot of shit at a certain point. Like, it really ties together well. Like, you really understand it's almost like the actual character of Jennifer Melfi, the psychiatrist, is like, this isn't a Michael Francis thing. This is a me thing. But it feels like she is a way to explore Tony's mind without making it seem too comic bookish, where you're actually getting the ... in the thinking bubble. Like, you get him inside of his therapy sessions to see inside of his whole thing. And another thing we're not touching on enough.
You need that because you need somebody to be able to get the real version of Tony. Because again, he's lying to everybody. There's very few times where
the closest you get though is Dr. Jennifer Melfi, right?
Yeah, and then I think another thing the series did well, not only with that, but also like the stuff with like dreaming. Like, there was a lot of dream sequences on the show, and you would get to see it from like Tony's perspective of shit.
And they don't feel boring or dog shit for once. Which normally I'd skip through that on a rewatch. I never get upset at it. It's like, it feels like they're actually making a good point. It's not some art fucking here's a dream sequence to set up some very obvious thing that's happening. It's like, you really got to pick it apart and think about it. Then he talks about it later. Mm-hmm. You think it's going to be a third. You were making a point. I'm sorry.
No, just agreeing with that, man. Just the fact that, these are, again, a well-written show where there is 2 different ways to get inside the head of the main character and to know pretty much exactly what they're thinking, or as close as you can get to it.
The last thing before we go to season 2, and this is really more of a season 2 thing. It comes across in season 1. But it's a fucking comedy series. It's probably one of the best comedy series that have ever been put out. And I don't know if it was trying to be or not, but holy fuck, it was successful at just being hilarious the entire fucking time.
Sil and Polly are 2 of like my favorite comedy characters. And
they're so good.
And yet they're vicious, horrible people that were violently assaulting and killing people.
Another couple of sociopathic straight up serial killing monsters, both of them.
But at the same time, hilarious. Like, especially Polly's thing where, like, Polly will tell some fucking dog shit joke and then we'll
he's got to repeat it.
And we'll repeat it. He's like, hey, Tone, do you hear what I told him? And then he just repeats the joke again. It's such dog shit on the second pass as well. And it's just like, why are you doing this?
There's one, I think it's like season 4, so I'm skipping ahead, but there's one joke where Polly's like, I think it's the Georgie the Bouncer and fucking who's the big fat fuck? Vito Spatafori are sitting there. No, it's Bobby Baklava and fucking Vito Spatafori, and they're sitting there, one giant gut to another giant gut, just profile, talking to each other. And Polly Walnut's in front of everybody at a private strip club party. He's like, look, it's like a weight loss commercial. Before and way before. And then it kind of gets you a little laugh. And then you just see the two fat guys like, fuck you. And then Tony walks by. He's like, hey, Tony, did you hear what I said? And he's like, yeah, I said it's like a weight loss commercial. And he's like, oh yeah, before and after. And Tony walks away with the girl he's about to get blown by. And he does that shitty laugh where he's like, it's crazy. It's fun. And then Syl, you pointed out, Syl can't stop doing Godfather quotes all the time.
No,
they'll end a scene on it, and it's fucking ridiculous. They'll make you jump as you're laughing about him like counting money, and he's like, thought they. What is the? I'm gonna fuck up the quote. He's like,
every time I think I'm getting out, they pull me back in.
Yeah, and then the scene cuts to black, and it goes right to a new thing, and you're like, what the fuck? What is that? And then they're watching Godfather, and he's quoting it. They're making him do impressions.
Yeah,
like, come on, so one time, do it for us. And he does the shittiest possible impressions of all the characters. They're all like waiting to give him a round of applause. Like, it's fucking insanity.
The humor of the group of like constant street jokes. Like, there was one I was listening to today where it was like there was this poor guy and he got his wife a dildo and a pair of slippers, and then his
I'm already getting weak.
Yeah.
I'm already excited. Where's this going?
And his friend said, why did you get her a dildo and a pair of slippers? And the poor guy says, because if she doesn't like the slippers, she can go fuck herself. It's just shit like that constantly. Just like every episode is just dog shit street jokes like that.
There's even one where they have Junior in the hospital with Bobby Baklava. This is going into season 2, but Bobby's like reading some shitty, stupid magazine, and they're painting him in Steve Sharippa as an idiot the entire time. Mm-hmm. He's a comedian, so it's funny that they're setting him up like this. And Donald Chianese, the guy that plays fucking Junior, sells Junior's a character so much that I forget that he's an actor. But he's sitting there in the doctor's office, like waiting to get fucking checked on, and he was like, hey, Chinaman goes to a doctor, right? And then he was like, I'm having a problem with my eyes. And the doctor was like, oh, I think I know what the problem is. And he's like, you do? And he's like, yeah. And he was like, it's a cataract. And he was like, no, I drive a Rinkin Continental. And then Bobby Baklava doesn't say anything. And he's like, you get it? And he's like, yeah, I get it. He drives a Lincoln. And then he goes back to reading, and he just has to sit there in silence. And the best part of that shitty street joke is Bobby not getting that shitty street joke. And he's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Yes, of course I get it. It's just painting these fucking buffoons. They feel like Three Stooges characters, and then the next scene they're murdering.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is the dichotomy of these characters? Is so crazy. It makes it so much more compelling to watch. Like, they feel like you're goofy uncle. Should I not say that word on the podcast? I'm going to cut that out. R-worded uncle. They do. They feel like your goofy R-worded uncle, and your goofball uncle, if you will. And then they're fucking serial killers. Then they're stringing guys up by their toes and beating them in the dick. Like, it's great. Like,
yeah, dude, they're just a constant mess on this entire thing. And
just look up, people listening, look up just compilations of Pauly Walnuts, or fucking Pauly Walnuts jokes is the greatest fucking compilation.
It's just, yeah, it's so bad. And also just his constant bullying of Christopher. Like Tony,
when he first becomes maid and he makes him strip down and he gets fully undressed, or he starts getting undressed and Sel's sitting behind him with that fucked up look, with the obviously fake hair on, and then he's like, no, I need you to get fully undressed to make sure that you're not a fucking rat. They like to make sure he's not wearing a wire, and he's like, you fucking serious? And he's like, he doesn't want to get undressed, and he's like, Sel's like, come on, you gotta fucking this is new policy. New guys that are just made have to do this. Obviously fucking with him.
Yeah.
Takes his pants off, and then he's like, yep. And they just do it from up the waist up, but you know his dick's hanging out. And Paulie's like, I guess you could call that a dick. And he's got these stupid wings. He says stupid look plastered on his fucking face. It's so good. It's so fucking good. And it's because he sucks. I don't know how to describe it. Like, he's a fucking cartoon character.
He is.
They're all cartoon characters. They get every word wrong. They fuck up every single fucking word they're trying to say. And like, even when they correct each other, I'm like, I don't even know if I know the word anymore because they fucked it up so many times. Like, I don't know a good example of this. Maybe you do. But where they'll say something where they're like, what's the classic that everybody says? I'm not gonna get to. Go ahead.
Again, other Polly things. There's like something in the second season where they go to Italy, and he tries to say hi to the locals, and they
Commendatore. And the dude looks at him, and he's like,
snub him, just
and he looks
completely.
away. He's like, "Fucking cocksucker."
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah. Again, Polly is just hilarious.
Or he's trying to talk to the one guy, and he's like, "Hey, I'm from America, blah blah blah." And then he's like, "Are you the ones from the?" He says it to him in fucking Italian, but he's like, "Are you the guys from the UN?" He was like, "You took our fucking ski lifts, you fucking prick." They can't have less respect for him. That's all season 2. I love that fucking episode because Paulie just gets shit on. He's interrupting Tony like a child the whole time. Tony's having serious business talk. He's like, "Hey, Tony, did you try the fucking octopus?" And he's like, "What? I'm trying to do a whole crime family thing here. What are you fucking doing?"
What's your problem, Polly?
It's crazy. He's in bed with a whore. he just busted a nut. She's trying to leave. She's sparking a cigarette up, and he's literally like, "Hey, so where are you from?" And she's like, "I'm from here," like basically.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, Napolitano. And he's like, he can't wait to talk about Naples, Napolitano, and all this shit. And she's just like, okay. And before she lights her cigarette, he's like, "Come here, get in bed." Up. And he sprays his shit in her mouth, and she's like, oh God. And he's like, "Yeah, right?" And then fucking sparks the cigarette up immediately. She's laying in bed naked, like, fucking, I gotta fuck this idiot. And now he's gonna talk to me about this Italian that's not Italian. This American guy is gonna talk to me like he's from the home country. And he's like, "Napolitano." And he's like, "Tony's from there too." And she's rolling her eyes the entire time. And then he's like, "Which city are you from?" She says the city. He's like, "Oh shit, that's where my grandpa's from." And then he's telling this whole story. And then the camera pans to her, and she gets to her foot, and she just starts like scratching her foot, like, and making this fucked up face. Takes a big long cigarette draw, and then just starts picking at like obvious callus on her feet while Paulie's just. It's so great to just watch him get completely shit on the whole time until he's defeated by Italy, and he gets back, and there's this great scene of him in the car where he just looks around at this Jersey shithole fucking industrial park, and he breathes like it's so brief, it's so quick, and he's just like, "Yep, I'm home." Like, you see it in his eyes. He doesn't even say anything. Like, it's so nice to be home. But he can never admit it to himself because he's such a cartoon character of an Italian mobster. He thinks he's, Napolitano. I'm from Naples. Nope, you couldn't be further from it, and the Italian people couldn't give less of a fuck about you, Italian American fucks. That might be one of my favorite episodes ever. I fucking love that episode. Just because they just get shit on. And it's like, this is exactly how they would look at you. You're foreigners. You're not fucking Italian Americans. You're regular Americans. Your grandfather immigrated 90 years ago. You're not fucking Italians anymore. Stop pretending.
Yeah.
You're a Guido cartoon character.
Yeah, that is something that is interesting. Also the fact they did it in the second season, like they did it so early, where it was like, okay, you've got to know these guys over the course of a season. You understand the beat of the show.
The world building really starts in that second season, though.
But they're like, we're willing to show these characters at like where they look incredibly weak and they're shit on.
Yeah.
And they're the biggest fucking losers in the room.
Season 2 does such a good job of that. This, to me, are we already on season 2? Go ahead, do your thing.
We're into season 2.
You gotta do your thing.
Okay, January 16th to April 9th, 2000. Season 2 focuses on Tony's growing mistrust of one of his closest friends, Big Pussy, who is revealed to be an FBI informant. Dr. Melfi continues meeting with Tony despite her growing disgust of his actions and contemplates the nature of their relationship. Tony's sister Janice also returns to New Jersey, and their collectively strained relationship with their mother Olivia and each other continues. Meadow is accepted into college, but her personal life intersects with Tony's crime life for the first time. Former boss Jackie, Prilla's brother Richie, is released from prison and causes trouble for Tony and his business.
So many good characters. in the same way that Livia is hateable, so is Janice. Janice is fucking hateable. She's played
Yes.
well. She feels like your annoying fucking sister that you don't like. Like,
No.
if she feels like that family member that you're like, I don't hate you enough to disown you, but fucking hate being around you. Everyone has that person. Everyone knows who that is. That you're listening to this right now. You have a Janice in your life. You identify with that. The lady that played her, I forget her name, Atoro or whatever the fuck, something Atoro. Props to her. Props to all the people that played in the show.
She kills
Such good
it.
acting that you're like, I almost hate this person. You're like, oh, that's just an actress doing a great job
Right.
portraying a hateable fucking person. That's not really her. Holy shit, that's not really her. Like, that's what you find out about all these people. Just
Yeah.
a big kudos to the fucking acting of The Sopranos. You get Richie Aprile. What a cocksucker motherfucker of a villain in a story where you're rooting for the villain. How do you make a more villain? Richie Aprile. They do a good job of doing this over and over throughout the series.
Yes.
You get fucking Richie Aprile, you get Ralph Cifaretto.
There's
you
always
get,
a new
you get
dickhead
fucking,
antagonist.
Yeah, you get Tony Leotardo, you get fucking another dickhead antagonist that's even worse than the fucking dickhead that you're already rooting for, kind of, sort of.
I guess in a way, it's like Tony is sort of like Godzilla, where, he's an awful thing that will destroy your city.
Right.
But at the same time, there's bigger dickheads out there. And
Yeah, but if another kaiju attacks,
Exactly.
he's your boy.
He's your guy.
He's your boy.
He's your
dude.
guy.
You're
Yeah.
rooting for your boy.
Yeah,
you got to
and-
pick a
and-
boy.
and so he's got to take on other Italian kaijus, and fucking
It's an Italian kaiju war.
yeah. That's
I love the idea of fucking Sopranos being broke down in Godzilla terminology. This is so good.
now.
Keep going. Please expand on this thought. This is so great.
Now I'm just kind of wanting like Tony Soprano to come up out of the deep and like be over top of Tokyo.
Fistful of meatballs
Yeah,
and spaghetti.
yeah, fighting Ralph. Like this is what should have happened instead of Saints of New Jersey, or whatever the fuck that was.
The Many Saints of Newark. Fuck that movie.
That movie sucked. Listener, we're not talking about that on this podcast.
Yeah, we're not. Let's not even go into it.
Back to happier times.
Season 2
Season
is the
2.
greatest season of Sopranos for so many reasons. Even David Chase and other fans love this fucking series. And David Chase said that I felt like the writing in Sopranos season 2 was the most successful. David Chase, we haven't said, I don't think we have, is the director of the series. I don't know how much writing he did for it. A bunch of people wrote for it, but there are so many good episodes. There isn't a bad episode in this whole thing. There's parts on Reddit that people call like a weak link that'll get 500 upvotes, and then in the comments, there's other people that can't wait to explain how it's not a weak link, how it's actually a great episode. There's the one where you get to see Furio. Like we just talked about fucking Going to Italy, one of my favorite episodes, incredible. You get the Pussy comes back in the first episode because he disappears at the end of the first season, right? Because they think that he's the snitch, but Jimmy's the snitch. They kill Jimmy, but fucking he disappears. Pussy comes back, fucking shows up at Tony's house, does this whole thing. You liked Pussy. If you watch the series,
Yeah.
people love Pussy. He's an immediate hit. He's got a crazy name. He's played by a fucking guy that you've seen, you don't know where. But I know I've fucking watched a Martin Scorsese movie with him in it before. That's how the whole series feels. Like, where the
Right.
fuck, what Martin Scorsese
where's
movie
this
have I
guy
seen
from?
you in? That's the whole thing. And you're like, I want more of Big Pussy Bop and Sarah. Like, I need this fucking guy. And they bring him back. And they bring him back in the first one. They give you everything that you want. Great writing. Another more villainous cocksucker to hate. Another hateable fucking Livia Soprano type that's tied to the family that you can relate to. Great episodes. Jon Favreau shows up in the fucking thing, right? Isn't that season 2? Am I fucking that up?
He is on the show. I don't know if he's in season 2 or not.
I thought Jon Favreau was the season 2 where he fucking,
Maybe, I don't know.
as Chrissy falls in love with the one girl because he's trying to get his fucking screenplay like written or whatever the fuck, and then he finds out that he's just being used as a fucking, because he's basically a walking Italian mobster stereotype that they can fucking draw from.
Yes.
And the Hollywood machine can shut him down. The show's very self-aware too. It
Yeah.
fucks with Hollywood constantly. And I forgot to point this out, but the whole show is kind of making fun of Italian stereotypes. In season 1, I'm sorry to jump back, but there's a whole episode where the Melfi family's sitting down talking about how the husband of Melfi, or the ex-husband or whatever, they've got a kid together, so they're still doing family dinners, or they're talking about how people like Tony Soprano are a fucking problem for the Italian community because he runs the Defamation League and they're actually a bad part, and she's talking against it, and then somebody else makes up the point like, well, you don't see the Scots-Irish getting fucking mad that they were depicted in a bunch of gunslinging Western movies in the 40s and 50s and 60s. And I was like, damn, good point. Inside of us. And then you forget that you're watching a show that's exactly about the same thing. Like, the self-awareness to make that episode and put it in there and make it like feel like a conversation that you're listening to and not a point that they're cramming down your throat. And they do this every fucking season with like very self-aware shit like that other thing that I just forgot.
Again, I think it speaks to the realness of the show and also the writing of the show, where they're smart and they weren't holding your hand. Like, there was a lot of stuff where it's like, hey, if you're smart to pick up on it, you'll see it, you know?
Yeah.
And they definitely left some breadcrumbs out there for people to get a hold of.
In a
That
series,
wasn't-
it's about fools. They're all fucking simple fools, except for like Tony and a couple key characters. But I mean, there's so much going on for how simple and hilarious the writing is. I feel like everybody could like this show for a bunch of different
everybody
reasons.
gets a storyline. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing is, like, if you're a character on this show, every season you get a storyline.
Or if you're a watcher of if you're just an enjoyer of The Sopranos, I feel like there's different levels of people that enjoy The Sopranos. Everywhere. They made the show for literally fucking everybody. Like, I can't speak enough to how much I love it. Does it coming across with how much I interrupt you? Like, I fucking love this show, guys. What the fuck?
So, other favorite parts of I got to jump back to the Janice thing real quick. Janice is one of my favorite characters on the show because she is another family member who is a pain in Tony's ass. Like you said, she is a pain in the ass in her own very unique Janice way. Janice is always hooking up with like the worst guy at the time to hook up with.
Every time.
Just constantly.
Can't help herself.
She's just constantly like...
Her son's taken from her. She can't raise her own son. You find out that she's technically on the fucking Canadian watch list for terrorists. And she was like, well, he took him back to British Columbia. It's just an aside. Like,
yeah.
I know Janice used to be a mother, but how is... And he's got a goofy, fucked up name because she's going by like Vishnu or some stupid shit. He's going by like some fucked... It sounds like a Pennywise the Clown character fucking name. And she was like, well, he blah 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 took him back to Montreal, and well, I've been writing the fucking the minister, but I think I'm still on their terrorist list. It's like, what the fuck? And then every other relationship she has to the show, just like you said, just dog shit after dog shit. Richie Aprile, though, season 2. Richie
just jumps right off with this. And again, this is, another reason why Tony is at odds with this guy. It's not just the mafia thing. Now it's a family thing. Like, it's all sorts of bad, and they're fighting over this.
She's trying to put a loan on the house. Richie Aprile's living in the house with them, and he was like, I'm trying to fucking sell this house. Like, I'm letting you live out here from the kindness of my heart. Like, and you're fucking here now? Like, you fucking cocksucker. Like, I hate you. Like, there's a bunch of good dialogue between him and Richie, too. Like, when he's just like, oh, yeah, how's your sister, Tony? He's like, there's no need for that talk. And he was like, no, Janice, how was Janice? And he's like, oh, I thought you were baiting me, like, fucking, how's your sister, fucking mother? There's so many good, like, throwaway, like, little things like that. Like, when, Meadow, when Meadow gets busted for drinking at the thing, and she was like, it wasn't my fault. And he was like, if I had a quarter for every time that you said that growing up, I would have a private jet on 24-hour standby. Like, just some, like, that, just little piece of something, like, that's not an easy dad riff. Like,
right.
It feels like it is, but that's like an easy Tony Soprano dad riff. Like,
right.
It just builds the characters just being fucking brilliant quickly on the fly with like these little throwaway fucking asides. Like, there's so much of that I'm not going to be able to. That's why this is such an intimidating episode to do, because the best part of the show is dialogue, and I feel like I'm just not the guy that has the encyclopedia of dialogue like some of my friends. I have a little bit, but there is so goddamn much here that we're missing on this.
And I think that's again, I think that's okay, because like this is we're dipping into the Royal Sopranos, but we're not deep diving.
Sure.
If we had like if we had like a weekly podcast where we did a Sopranos episode a week, then dialogue we definitely talk about that. But right now we're just kind of flying through these seasons. Okay,
not with me here. What are we 3 hours in already?
So another thing I liked about this season is Paulie thinks he's being haunted by people that he killed. Which also starts off a whole thing where like Paulie is very superstitious. Like he doesn't like cats being around and shit.
Yeah. He's fucking insane. He's out of his fucking mind about everything all the time, constantly.
Yeah. He is just.
Doesn't he go and see like these paranormal investigators? And they can all see like all the
shit.
Yeah, like all of his dead. He finds out that he's being followed by the ghosts of all the people that he killed. And the one guy asks him, "How's the poison ivy?" And he's like, "How the fuck would you know?" He's like, "Fuck you." And he takes his steel chair and throws it through a room. But he doesn't throw it at the people that are in the paranormal conference. He throws it at the perceived A ghost of the guy's talking to. Oh no, hiccups.
Oh,
Save me.
I gotcha. Yeah, again, and just a thing of the Polly character where it's just this is a rare show where this makes sense for a character and you can get away with it, and it's just because Polly is this wild of a dude that it's just like, of course, why wouldn't he see ghosts and be throwing chairs?
Let's look up Paulie real quick, because if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the real gangster characters that are in the fucking series. Hold on, Paulie Walnuts.
I mean, so.
Paul Gaultier is played by Tony Cicero.
Yeah,
Cicero. I'm gonna go with Cicero. That sounds better, doesn't it? It says that this dude came from fucking early life. He was born in Brooklyn in a family in Flatbush in the Bensonhurst neighborhoods of Brooklyn. Blah blah blah. He was convicted of several crimes and was arrested 28 times, including for disorderly conduct, assault, and robbery before taking up acting. On February 27th, 1970, he was arrested at a restaurant and found with a .32 caliber revolver on his person. In 71, he was indicted for extortion, coercion, and felony weapons possession, convicted and sentenced to 4 years in prison, of which he served 20 months at Sing Sing. I can keep going. There's a whole way. I'm not gonna, but that's who's playing Paulie Walnuts, which makes it adds depth to the fucking character, because you're like, you're being played by a guy that really did this shit.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
not convinced that this is Paulie Walnuts. We're watching Tony Cicero. Like, this is Sirico. I think SIRI, whatever. Stupid name, but
I would definitely like put him up there, like the way the immersion of that character is on par with like Arlie Ermy in Full Metal Jacket.
He's not acting.
Where
where
it's like, oh, you're this guy because this is who you were.
Yeah, it's you were just playing yourself. It's like, wow, Stanhope did a good episode on Louis where he played himself, or wow, he's doing a new movie that's got a lot of awards. What role is he playing? Himself? Like, oh, no shit. No wonder people love Paulie Walnuts, because he's playing him fucking self. That's what I think makes him so compelling. I think that, I'm just guessing. I haven't heard him say this, but I would imagine that a lot of what they added about Paulie Walnuts probably came from fucking the real guy.
Oh, 100%. Also in this season, we get Tony gets arrested at the end of the season, and we also get the murder of Big Pussy on Tony's boat.
Didn't Chris get shot at the end of the season too?
Wait, what?
Didn't Christopher Moltisanti get shot at the end of the season too?
He might have. I only
he goes into a coma.
So much.
It's like a huge part of the. I think that's the end of it.
Throw it in there.
Okay. He turns out to be okay. Yeah. So he's got these douchebags working for him, and they keep getting ripped off. Like, Furio has one of the best lines ever in that series, where after the Italian they go to Italy. Tony talks to the boss. He wants to bring one guy back. He noticed that Furio was the craziest dude. He protected the boss. He slapped the shit out of a 12-year-old. He's ruthless. He's a sociopath. He's a fucking good talker. He's like a gentleman when he needs to be. He's a complete psycho when he needs to be. He's got no emotions except for what he wants to display. He's just like Tony. Tony sees himself in this Italian dude. He brings him back to the States. These two dudes are kind of like pre-Moltisanti. Like, Moltisanti, Christopher has that fucking connection to Tony, so he's gonna become made. These two dudes that work for Christopher, they're hard asses, they're fucking crazy people. They're the guys that in the beginning that are doing that fucking the stock scam. You know, those two guys that fucking shake the guy down for the car or whatever the fuck. They're always stealing cars and shit. They owe Tony a percentage of some robbery that had just happened, and Furio shows up to collect, banging on their door over and over again until they answer. And he's like, yeah, it's 10%, it's $7,500. And then Furio's like, give me $1,000. And he was like, what? He's like, give me $1,000. It's the greatest fucking just quick quote ever. And he gives it to him, and then he's like, he looks at the guy's underwear, and he's with an associate, and he says in Italian, he's like, look, it's their underwear. They're fucking each other in the ass here. What a bunch of boop. Yeah, and then they just laugh about it. He was like, what the fuck did he say? And he was like, have a nice day. And closes the door on him and shit like that. And you get the introduction of Furio, which then they show him, like, again in some fucking, like, at a house party, like a warming party where he's doing well with children. And Christopher tells him that this Chinese jerk-off massage parlor is not paying their full, like, dues every week. And he was like, should I go handle it? And he was like, what the fuck do you think that I'm supposed to do? He's like, okay, I'm gonna go handle it. And it cuts to Furio, like, playing with children, like, being nice.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, hold on, I think I need to test this guy, basically what he says. And the next scene is him showing up, telling him, like, all right, repeat back to me what I said. Tony's saying to Furio, and Furio's like, the wife is a problem too. We need to collect. He's like, okay, go on. Tony smokes a cigar, and Fury just walks off inside of a fucking massage parlor, opens the door, immediately bashes a woman in the face, shoots a gun into the air. All the clients come rushing out. He fucking punches everybody that comes rushing out, walks in there, shoots a guy in the kneecap, beats the fuck out of him, steals all their money, and walks out of there. Tony laughing, smoking a cigar the entire time like the sociopath that he is, and you get that introduction to Furio. How did I get off on this Furio tangent? Just a great character that we're...
Just a character that pops up in season 2.
Phenomenal character, too.
And he's also a character that is intimidating. Like, he's not as like funny as a bunch of the other characters. Like, sometimes he'll do shit, but like it's usually if it's something funny he's doing, he's like bullying people.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely a different flavor than the rest of the show.
Like the golf course scene. We'll get to that later.
Oh, the golf course scene is fucking hilarious.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. That's in a later season though, right?
I don't
remember. Who cares? The golf course scene is...
talk about it.
Junior feels like he's not being treated properly by his cancer doctor, so he's not answering his phone calls. Junior's freaking out about everything. Even after all the assassination attempts that he made against Tony, Tony's like, he's still technically the boss of the family as far as what I want everybody to perceive, and he's still my uncle, so I'm going to go do right by him. And this doctor that's not answering his uncle's phone calls is out golfing, and Tony just whips up on him in the middle of a golf cart with Furio, and he jumps out, and he's like taken aback because he's right next to a fucking, I guess he...
like a water hazard.
Yeah, a little water hazard. And he's sitting by him, and he's like, oh, what's going on? Are you a member of this club? And he's like, no, but you must have a problem with your phone or something, because you're not answering my uncle's phone calls. And he's like, Gabagool, bye-bye, like doing that thing with his mouth that he's always doing in a leather coat. I love it. But Furio's just kind of sitting back, and then he was just like, a fun game that you're playing here. I'm a fan of golf myself. He's like, I don't know that my associate is as much of a fan. Hey, Cameron, are you a fan? He calls him something. He calls Furio something like Cameron or something stupid. He's like, stupid a fucking game. Yeah. And he just like stares dude down, and he kind of backs up a little bit, and he's like, well, anyways, I got a little present for you. And he's like, I can't accept any presents. And he's like, sure you can. And he jabs him in the chest with a fucking 9-iron, and he backs up even more into the water and fucking like... takes it, and he's like, okay, and he's like, yeah, no, it helped me with my game. Anyway, so when my uncle calls you, you're gonna answer your phone. And he was like, all right, I'll make a note of it. And he goes to take his fucking recorder out, hey Janice, make a, and then Furio smacks it out of his hand into the fucking thing and just stares at him and like gets closer to him, and then he walks even further into the water hazard, and he's like, fuck, dude, like ruining his pants and shit like that. His friends are looking over like, should I do something? He's like, no, I'm fine, everything's fine,
everything's cool, don't mind me.
I'm just totally fine. Just 2 serial killers are staring me down about
just horrifically bullying me on a golf course in the middle of the day.
I'm a 58-year-old doctor that went to fucking 9 years of medical school and did a 3-year residency that, I'm doing cancer work for a fucking mobster, so now I'm being harassed at the country club that I'm gonna retire at. Like, nothing's a problem here, no problem. And like just the way that I don't feel like I'm describing the scene well. Just look it up.
And the thing is just like, again, it's just like one of those scenes where it's just like, it's just a scene, you know, like it's not like in the overall scheme of the show is it important? Not really, but on the other hand, it's such an amazing scene where it like establishes who the fuck these guys are. Because number one, you totally believe that Tony would do this, and then number two, you also get to see like Furio is basically just like a pit bull that Tony has, and then whenever Tony wants, he can just let him off the leash, be like, attack, and Furio just goes into a rage and fucks people up.
One of the most intimidating and realistic enforcers of any like gangster show I've ever watched. Like you'll get an enforcer character in all these gangster shows. Furio might be the most fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
because they're doing this in broad daylight. They don't give a fuck. He barely speaks the language, and he truly does not give a fuck.
He's very like, cold.
One of his catchphrases is, do not bitch to me. Don't bitch to me. Whatever the fuck. He's telling the one dude, and he's like, you expect me to do all this for nothing? He was like, hey, Dominique, do you suck his cock? She was like, yeah, I make that little yarmulke motherfucker spin on his head when I suck that shit. And he was like, do not bitch to me. And then he like grabs the room key and fucking walks back up to the room. Yeah. He, like throws like whiskey in another guy's eyes. And he's like, don't bitch to me.
Just constantly.
Doesn't have any empathy for other human beings at all.
No, just constantly bullying the world.
Yes.
All right, so okay.
How far are we in? Time check.
We are like an hour 10 in.
All right, I'm gonna shut up some more.
Okay. So, All right, Big Pussy gets killed on the boat. I do think that is an interesting scene because it is like nobody's happy about doing this. Like it's like it has to be done. Like on some level, they're like, oh, you fucking betrayed us, but in their part, they realize they're killing their friend, and it's not a great.
It's hard
feeling.
for everyone.
Yeah,
Tony doesn't want to do it. Fucking Sil has to walk away for a minute. Is it Sil that walks away or Paulie that walks away? Whatever. But Tony's got food poisoning. Like fucking the way that he finds out about it is fucking incredible. Season 2 is just the goddamn some of the best television of all time ever.
Season 3 begins airing on March 4th, 2001, concluded on May 20, 2001. All right, so Season 3, the story of Season 3 focused on the relationship between Tony and his children, his oldest child, Meadow, as she begins her first year at Columbia University, while his youngest, AJ, is still having problems in high school. Tony's relationship with his volatile mother, Livia, finally seeks a resolution. Dr. Melfi experiences her horrifying personal trauma, but begins to make real progress in discovering the root causes of Tony's panic attacks. Christopher learns what it takes to really be a made man, and Tony's extramarital affair with one of Dr. Melfi's very mentally ill patient, Gloria. All right, so this one, this is something I always remember about this season, is Meadow goes to Columbia and immediately starts to date a Jewish African-American guy, which causes Tony to have an anxiety attack. And then we get the scene.
The most racist anxiety attack of all time.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Gabagool,
Yeah.
my daughter's dating a Moulignon.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
it's fucking crazy. He pulls him aside and he calls him a charcoal briquette. Like,
Yeah.
to his face, I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's barely black.
And that's
he's the
like-
lightest skinned black dude of all time. And Tony's like, nope.
Well, and I think, again, this is like...
Italian's worse fear. Jewish and black? Oh, no. Yeah.
Like they were when the series went there with it, they were like, no, this would make sense in this world, like this would
And it
totally
does.
happen. And then number 2, it is like it reminds you yet again, Tony Soprano is a fucking shitty person.
He's a piece of shit,
Because-
and you're still rooting for him.
And-
For 3 more seasons, you're still kind of rooting for him. It's
yeah,
fucking
and
insane.
and again,
He's a
it's
serial killing, racist, narcissist, sociopath, and you're like, that's my boy.
yeah.
For some reason, that's how good the writing of this fucking show is, because every one of those qualities is irredeemably shitty, and you're still like, I kind of like him.
And this is one of those, like, and that's the thing that I think, again, with the balance of the show is like, normally you are like, oh, Tony's great, I love Tony, he's so awesome, and then you have scenes like this where you're like, oh fuck, this guy is a horrific human being, like, and he is such an asshole,
So bad.
and what he's doing, like, and
It's
he's
gonna guarantee that your daughter only sucks black cock for the rest of forever. That conversation is like, well, do you want your daughter on black.com because you're having the right conversations with her boyfriend right now?
and then also like just the whole thing too, where like Tony like having this conversation with the kid, and the kid just like have this take, and it's just like you just feel fucking terrible for
He
him.
has the worst parenting takes ever. Like,
Yeah.
everything that he does just fucks his kids up more.
Yeah.
It's like whatever his end goal is supposed to be. That's my point. I'm making a fucked up joke. But my point is, whatever his end goal is, he knows how to do this by intimidating grown men.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know how to, like, be a father, though, which is the most interesting dynamic. He can't discipline his kids properly. Like, he
No.
doesn't know what to do.
Oh, and they keep fucking up. Like AJ, you know, throughout the series is having issues where he's getting in trouble at school and, you know, partying and drugs and shit and just like not wanting to do anything. And Tony is so frustrated with it because like Tony wants him to be somebody like, you know, like a better version of Christopher. Like Tony respects Christopher, but he also points out when Christopher fucks up. And that's kind of what I think he wants AJ to be. Is he wants to be like a Christopher type, and AJ is not that guy. And then Meadow.
AJ's another hateable character as the series goes on, and I think this is one of the seasons where you start hating AJ.
Well, yeah, because like AJ has like the super soft life, and then that's where you start to wonder like, what the fuck is this kid bitching about? Like he's got it made, but then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, but he lives in a really fucked up like cage. Like, but then again, then he does fucking stupid shit, and you're like, oh god damn it, you know, it's just people hurting people that are in a family together.
Is this the season where he goes to kill Junior?
Maybe.
In the psych ward. Yeah, I don't. This is where I start getting fuzzy with everything. Is seasons 3 through the rest of them. I know everything that happens. I just don't know in which order or what part. The standout for season 3, though, for me, is when Paulie Walnuts and fucking Christopher Moltisanti go to collect money from the Russian guy, and he like I forget who. I think it's Paulie. Oh, just keeps fucking with him.
The Pine Barrens. Yes, the Pine Barrens is like one of the most famous episodes.
Best
ever.
episode of the season.
Yeah.
Is that season 3?
Yeah, that's season 3. Paul and Christopher get lost in the Pine Barrens because they go to pick up money off this like Eastern Bloc guy, and he gets into it with them, and then they try to kill him. But
they think they could kill him, like beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He's strong as fuck. This crazy Eastern Bloc dude that I wouldn't have picked a fight with, that nobody should have picked a fight with. They dump his like universal remote on the ground, and he's like, pick that up, and he's like, fuck you, and then he fucking starts a whole fight over it, and they think that they have to kill him. They wrap him up in a rug, they put him in the back of a trunk, and they go to drive him out to the Pine Barrens, and the dude escapes somehow. Like, he's not dead, he's alive. He takes off.
Just
Tony fucking calls
snow.
him on a they get a hold of him on a fucking shitty cell phone. It's got bad reception. Call Tony on a payphone, and he was like, the guy that you were just shaking down, he can't leave here. And he's like, well, why? And he was like, he was an interior decorator. He was fucking, which is like slang for like, it's the Irishman, like, I paint houses. Like, he's a fucking hitman for the Russian mob. Like, this dude was like a Russian equivalent of a Green Beret. That dude's story cannot come back. He gets off the phone and Paulie's like, yeah, this guy, he's a fucking interior decorator. And then Christopher's like, damn. His apartment looked like shit. It's like, oh, you fucking guy, you got me again. Like, he's just, they're hunting this fucking crazy fucking Russian guy in the middle of the woods or whatever the fuck that's escaped and is now hunting them. You don't really know who's being hunted. And then time is passing and it's getting colder and darker, and they find a van and they're covering up with like the shitty, like rotten fucking like a matting that's in the back of the van, like hoping to not freeze to death in the entire. Like, it's such a good fucking episode.
Well, yeah, and that's it's so funny when like there's the part where they find like ketchup packets in the car, and Christopher's like, oh, they're kind of half frozen, and fucking Polly's like, give them to me, and like tries to steal them because he's so hungry. At one point, Polly loses a shoe, and then when he's on the phone with Tony, he's like, I lost a shoe. Just tells him straight up that he's down to one shoe. And Tony's having to figure out like
they're all badass tough guys until you get them out in the woods for fucking 3 seconds.
They don't know what's going on.
They don't know how to start a fire. They can't fucking build shelter. Everybody's gonna die out there. You're like, holy shit! What a bunch of fucking broken pussies. Like, they only survive as tough guys if they could do it in their little shitty like knockoff like mobster rat pack, like in the middle of a city sort of way. Like, it shows how vulnerable they are.
Yeah.
It shows how human these people are. Like,
yes.
It's so fucking hilarious and dark at the same time and fucking real. Like, I love that episode.
Yeah.
I don't know what else there is to say. It's just great.
It's one of the best episodes ever. It's definitely one of the standouts from the series. Again, it's kind of like the college one from the first season. All right, so some more stuff from the third season that stands out on the list is we get the so Ralph Cifaretto appears and starts to introduce Jackie Aprile Jr. to the family business. So this is interesting because from the jump, Ralph, played by Joey Pants, you instantly don't like Ralph. Like, Ralph's a dickhead. And then Ralph is fucking up Jackie Jr.'s life because Jackie Jr. is like a regular kid. And then Ralph starts tempting him with what life could be.
It's like encouraging him to be a tough guy piece of shit like Ralph is. Ralph doesn't seem like he should fit into that world either. Like, it seems like he's just such a good earner that they reluctantly allow Ralph into the crew. They're like, fuck, like, this guy is a scumbag even by our standards.
Yes.
Fuck this guy. This guy has a bad attitude, shits on everybody constantly, but fuck, he makes a lot of money for us, so we tolerate him. It's like, only because this guy is able to make this much money is he tolerated at all. And he's like, here's my shitty personality, kid. I know that Tony doesn't want you in the mob, your dad didn't want you in the mob, and only your shitty fucking stupid 20-year-old brain wants you in the mob. But I'm going to give you all the worst of my personality to get you into the mob with. Like, what the fuck? Why are you giving this kid this shit-ass advice?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's like, well, I'm fucking his mom. Of course I am.
Yeah, and yeah, he's just very much like, Ralph is definitely the devil in your ear.
Isn't this season 4 though?
Wait, is
Am I tripping?
Nope.
I'm tripping in season 3.
I'm in season 3.
Hey, you right.
Yeah, but it is just like a whole crazy thing of just, Ralph being who Ralph is, and then here's like another.
Also, Janice murders Richie Aprile, which we skipped over, which is why you need a new cocksucker villain
That's
character
right.
to hate,
Yes.
and that's where Ralph fills in,
Yes.
right? So,
Yeah.
and he does a great job because it's like, how do you fucking hate anybody more than Richie Aprile? And it's like, damn, Richie isn't that bad. Once you deal with Ralph Cifaretto for a little while, you're like, I don't think I want Richie back. I think this guy sucks even fucking worse.
Yeah, Ralph is just terrible. A good example of Ralph being terrible. So there's a whole thing during the season where Ralph knocks up a dancer at the Bada Bing named Tracy. They get into an argument and he beats her to death. Tony then fucks up Ralph.
She's like 19 also. It's crazy.
Yeah, like she already like had a kid. The kid got taken away from her, and she's dancing at the Bing. And then here's also like a good example of Syl being a piece of shit. Is
The braces part.
yeah, so there's this whole thing with Syl where he will front the money if you want to get breast, and then Syl with her is like, hey, your teeth are terrible, so I'll do the same thing but for braces.
Break them down emotionally to the point where they feel like they gotta fix it. Oh, it's okay. There's a solution. The solution costs money. I don't have any money. I'll give you the money, which is the worst idea ever because now you're indebted to the mob for fucking forever.
Yeah.
And then she's up doing coke all night for like 3 days straight with Ralph. Piece of shit Ralph moved with a 19-year-old. She owes Syl money. Keep going with your point.
Yeah, and
Just setting up that whole scenario.
And so this is like this whole thing where now, like, so Ralph got her pregnant. Oh, also, Ralph has got her pregnant. She goes to Tony and asks Tony if she should get an abortion. And this is another duality of Tony where he's like Mr. Conservative American, a through and through Catholic. Religion's very important to him. And then he's just like,
what, do you want to have fucking Ralphie's kid?
yeah, I was like, no, go get that taken care of.
You didn't finish your Syl point, though. What was the
We got
Syl being a piece of shit?
Yeah, so to just kind of bring this back to that, so Ralph beats her to death in the parking lot. Syl's pissed because now he's cost Syl money because she was indebted to Syl, and he wasn't going to make.
Oh, even before that though, when that's what I was setting up before we got. Sorry, I feel like we. You thought I was jumping ahead, and I thought you were missing the thing before. But the thing before was when he meets Ralph's got her at the apartment for fucking like 3 days straight, and she's not showing up to work. And he shows up and rips her by her hair out of the apartment, and she's like trying to get Ralph to defend him, and he's just laughing at her, getting the fuck beat out of her by fucking Syl. And he's like, "You owe me fucking money. You're gonna show up to your fucking shifts." Like, it's the first time that you really see Syl be a real scumbag. And then now your point about Ralph beats him to death, then sorry.
And then Syl's pissed. No, thank you for filling in more of the backstory. Again, just so much of this thing is
feature-length
dense.
film every episode.
Yeah. And so then you get that set off where it's like, well, now Syl's pissed at Ralph, and Syl's pissed at Ralph over a scumbag thing, but at the same time, in this world, it makes sense. And then Tony is pissed at Ralph, and Tony can, earner or not, Tony cannot stand idly by and watch this happen. And then it turns into this whole thing where it's like, oh, now you got to apologize to Ralph. And
because he beat the fuck out of him, right?
Yeah. And Tony does not want to do that.
Doesn't it turn into a whole sit-down sort of thing where there's money involved?
Yeah, and they got to like work it out.
It's one of those things that I forgot, and I've just rewatched the whole thing, so I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, there's little pieces that I forget like that.
So, and then
I remember him beating the fuck because they're having the party. They go outside, and he's like, "Yeah, baby, of course, I love you." I remember that whole setup. And he's like, "Yeah, I would never love you. What the fuck are you talking? A cocksucking hooer like you." He also says hooer, which is hilarious. Like, what are you, 40s? Come the fuck up. You a little hooer like yourself. What do you mean? And he does look like a guy that's named Joey Pants in real life.
Yeah.
Just based on how he looks. Then she had, like, slaps him or scratches him across the face, and then kills her.
He just kills her.
And all the guys come out like, what the fuck? And Tony's like upset that she's like, I think it's because like in his brain it's like, my daughter is about that age.
Yeah,
basically.
it fucks with Tony on that level. And
then he attacks her at the end or whatever, or attacks him rather, beats him up. Is it then?
Yeah. Well, what ends up happening is at the end of it, Ralph ends up getting banned from the Bing for life. So he's never allowed to come back, which is a pretty big deal. If you can't come to the Bing, a lot of things happen at the Bing.
It's a meeting point for the whole fucking... Sylvia runs the Bing, and that's where they do all their business except for Satriali's.
Yeah. So, also in this season, we get Christopher taking over a nightclub that he gives to Adriana. And then really meeting Adriana. I'm not sure if season 3 is the first time we meet Adriana, but important.
No, season 1. You meet her in
season
season 1.
But this is like where she really starts to kind of stand out more
Yeah, you really start developing the character for real. I mean, she's in season 2 also with the gangster. There's a whole episode with the gangster rapper that
Oh yeah,
she knows through him, and then she like is trying to get her ex-boyfriend's fucking band produced, and this guy's really just trying to fuck her the whole time. But yeah, this is like where you get even more character development from her.
And then kind of the ending of the season and just kind of the big thing is, so Ralph ends up giving the order to have Jackie Jr. killed. And so this is like the whole thing where Jackie Jr. like dove in, and I forget, he rips somebody off or something happens, and then...
So Tony is like trying to keep him out of the mob life the entire time, while Ralph is secretly telling him, here's how you get into it. And Jackie's also, Jackie Jr., so his father, Jackie Sr., was running the family that Tony now runs, for context. So Jackie Sr., before he died of cancer, said, I never want to let my son get into this life. Tony then wants to respect his wishes as the new boss of the family, trying to not get him into it, which is one of the pieces that makes Ralph Silveretto such a cunt of a character, because he's fucking Jackie Jr.'s fucking mom the entire time. You know, Jackie Sr.'s ex-wife, the widow, the fucking, and poisoning the son's mind, being a scumbag throughout, telling him, oh, Tony's just testing you. And the whole time, Jackie Jr. is also dating Meadow Soprano. So, like, he keeps fucking this relationship up left and right. And Meadow's enamored with him, has known him his whole life. He's a handsome, young Italian man, fucking kind of cut, selling a little bit of drugs here and there, kind of seems like a badass, came from a badass family, and fucking kind of wants to be mob connected, like intimidating dudes in a pizza parlor, doing all this fucking, like, crazy shit to make himself seem like a badass, and he's really not connected, but he wants to pretend like he is, because he's got big shoes to fill, and he's got something to prove and a chip on his shoulder. And every time Tony beats him down, Ralph encourages him to do more, up until there's the straw that breaks the camel's back moment of, you can't date my daughter anymore, when he goes to a rival strip club, which turns out to be the club that Christopher gifts to fucking Adriana, and he's there getting a lap dance, and Tony catches him because he shows up there, not knowing that it's ran by them, and he's getting a lap dance, and he's supposed to be dating fucking Tony's fucking daughter, so he pulls him to the bathroom. He's like, put your fucking hands up, and he beats the fuck out of him in the middle of the bathroom, and then basically tells him, you fucked up for the last time, which he thinks is just like, don't come around, don't fuck with me, don't fuck with my daughter, fuck you. Tells this to Ralph. Ralph's like, hold on, let me tell you a little story about how Tony Soprano held up Feach Labana's fucking card game, and this is how he made it in good. So fucking Ralph implants this stupid fucking idea in Jackie Jr.'s head that Jackie can redeem himself by becoming a gangster in some fucked up way by robbing fucking a
card game.
It's a card game that Maltasanti and Furio's at, and a bunch of people are at. So they get high on crystal meth, they show up, they go to rob the fucking thing. It's all botched. Somebody gets shot, somebody gets killed. Fucking, they get out of there. The getaway driver freaks out when he hears gunshots. They take off. They nab one of the kids, and they kill him, or they torture him to get the information on who the other guy is. And it's Jackie Jr., and he gets away, and he's on the lam, and he's only in communication with Ralph. So Ralph has to make the call at the end of the season to be like, after Tony talks to him, like, where the fuck would he get this idea to do this? And he's like, I don't know, Tony, it's crazy. I don't even... Which makes Ralph such more of a cocksucker.
Even more of an
asshole. He's playing
asshole.
Every side. He's playing fucking every side, even more than Tony's doing. Like, the great white shark element of fucking, I'm only here for my food, and fuck everybody else that gets in the way of my food. Even more so. Like, even more cocksuckerly. Like, even more, like, devious.
Again, an even worse kaiju.
And then orders
Tony has to slay.
Orders to hit on the lady who he's fucking, the widow, you know, of the old boss, the fucking, you've been mentoring this kid the entire time. Tony fucking hates your guts. Like, you've kind of been mentoring this kid. You got to make the call. So he makes the call to have him fucking murdered by Vito Spadafori. It's darkness. It's straight darkness. And then it's a dark season ending. He just gets shot in the back of his head, and fucking that's it. And then they blame it on black people. They're like, it was a black neighborhood.
Yeah, he was in a bad neighborhood. Yeah, and that's
Gabagool.
Yeah, and that's it.
Also, can I point out one thing that I do hate about The Sopranos? Why every fucking 30 minutes do we gotta watch fucking Tony Soprano come? Like, did fucking James Gandolfini method act that every, like, you know the scene that you don't want to see in porn, which is like the asshole and balls like behind, you know, the one where you're like, why is this one in there? Or the guy's like, I feel like every 3
the
episodes
kettlebell
you got
shot underneath.
Yeah,
where it's just going back and forth.
you
It's
get
not
like a
good.
little bit of titty and nipple, and it's just like fat Tony going like Gabagool, and he's busting a nut, and it's like I think he really did bust in his pants like on this one, and then like you get the gross thought like, and now I know the whole room smells like chlorine and oregano, and it fucks my brain up, and it happens every 30 minutes. If there's one thing I could take out of The Sopranos, do we gotta watch him come every 9 seconds?
It's a
like,
lot.
Maybe watch him fuck, but you gotta watch him go like, ugh, and his toes are spreading apart, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here with this.
Tony
like, I don't wanna
Soprano is a
watch-
sexual creature.
Yeah, but do we gotta watch James Gandolfini come like a dwarf, like a giant overgrown dwarf with his fucking 3 Homer Simpson hairs on his head?
Hey man, you're paying HBO for that realism.
It's like, why is his sweat yellow? It's like he's a big piece of pepperoni. Of course, his sweat it's grease. It's not sweat.
So,
Pepperoni grease.
if you came for the Tony come to season 4 from September 15th, 2002 to December 8th, 2002.
So, what DVD region, by the way? When was it released on DVD?
Oh, DVD Region 1 on October 28th, 2003. So you had to wait a year to get a hold of this.
Damn, dog, it's crazy that you just have that knowledge in the back of your dome like that.
Dude, I was right back
Locked
there.
and loaded, huh?
Locked and loaded.
Chambered up.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I might forget characters' last names, but
I got you, dog.
I know when the DVDs came out. All right.
Hey, I remember all these greaseball fucking meatballs names.
That's what you're here for. I tee them up. You set them down. Okay. So the story of season 4 focused on the marriage between Tony and Carmela as Tony engages in an affair with his uncle's nurse, Svetlana. Svetlana. Thank you. See, exactly why you're here. And Carmela finds herself infatuated with one of Tony's soldiers, Furio. The increasing tension
Or as
between
Pussy said in season 2, this is Furio. Furio. He's like, what'd I say?
again.
It's so good.
This is why the show rules.
Yeah, it's so good.
All right. The increasing tension between Tony and Ralph comes to a violent head, and Uncle Junior is put on trial for his crimes. Adriana is forced into becoming an FBI informant while Christopher plunges deeper into heroin addiction. Jesus Christ, lots of shit going on this season.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's fucking crazy. It goes into pure darkness. So you really start setting up how much of a complete drug addict that Christopher's become, and like Adriana is like a completely. Like, it's like, holy shit, don't kill this hot-ass girl. I want to keep seeing her hot as hell in this series. No, don't kill the hottest girl in the series as a watcher and for no other reason. No, I'm kidding. She's very, like, I feel like more women could relate to her probably, because I know a bunch of women in their early 20s that have dated straight scumbags because it's appealing. Like, they're hot. They probably got a big old schlong on them. They're doing crazy felony shit in and out of prison, but it's like that's part of the appeal. And then you start getting into their fucking scumbag lifestyle because they get desensitized to it. And I feel like she's a compelling character for that reason, because it's like a real thing that I've seen happen to friends of mine and shit like that. Friends that get involved with like meth and then like get involved with like fucked up gangs and shit like that, and then they get out of it, or they have to like I have a couple people that I know that had turned into rats to save themselves, sold their boyfriend up the river, but their boyfriend still wants pussy, so they're fine. Don't worry, the hot girl that was doing meth is never getting killed for it. She's just outside like fucking OnlyFans pictures waiting to come into the prison. But I feel like Adriana Lacerva is that for The Sopranos in the same exact way, and a compelling character that you understand, like how she goes from this place of like just following kind of along because she's dating like a dangerous hot dude that she fucks with and loves, and then gets too far into it to the point to where the police are involved, and then she's like, how do I like not go to jail and also like still be with this guy? Maybe we could get out of this together. And she starts forming this fantasy of like, maybe we could both be rats on the run together. We could do some Goodfellas like sort of thing. That starts being developed in this season. There's a lot in this season.
She also acts as a way for like everyday people that aren't involved in the mafia, aren't involved with like criminal organizations. Like, she's kind of the viewpoint in for those people to be like, hey, this is a slippery slope. Because again, it's the whole thing where it's like, we all love these characters in the show, and it's like, dude, if you got to hang out with like Sil and Paul and Christopher all day, it'd be pretty. She's fucking
involved
fun.
In family. Her uncle is fucking Richie Aprile.
But what I'm saying is, but like, you know, but
I know what you
but like not actively like she's not shaking people down. Like she has more of like a straight lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, and then but she knows everybody and she's connected to it, and exactly what you're saying. and now she's stuck at this crossroads where it's like, does she get killed by them? Does she rat on them?
Do you go to jail for 20
like,
years?
What
do I do?
What do you do? Yeah.
And she's like, and your human instinct is to just be like, if you're not a complete sociopath that's involved in the mafia, you're like, as just a normal viewer, you're like, I just kind of want, like, if I'm in that position, I kind of just want my world to go back to normal. How do I do this so that I escape jail time and I don't piss my boyfriend or, like, all these things?
Yeah.
But it's like, there's no way to have your cake and eat it too, is kind of what her character arc wraps up as. And it's very unfortunate, but it is kind of like a cautionary tale without being like crammed down your throat. She has an interesting story arc that's very fucking sad, but is also like, it's what makes the show so compelling because they don't flinch at like killing off like main characters. I know this doesn't happen in this series. We're jumping around everywhere, but she has a great cautionary tale, and there's a bunch of great cautionary tales without them trying to be like a dare ad.
Well, and
does that make sense?
And this happens in the next season. Let's just talk about it now, just because I think we kind of can put a pin in Adriana after this. But like when she gets killed by Syl, man, it's
brutal.
It's like watching somebody take a dog out to be killed.
The most brutal part is the way that they portray it, though, because it's like, you think she's escaping by herself, then you realize
there's hope.
You realize it's a daydream, and she's just in the car with Syl.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, there's no hope. There's literally zero hope. She's being taken to the woods to be murdered, and she starts slowly breaking down, crying.
Because she
as
realizes
you can see Syl, like, just kind of like coldly being like, yeah, so like trying to maintain conversation about Chrissy, like
just trying to make it
kill
normal
himself.
as possible.
Because they lied to him, or they lied to her about Chrissy trying to kill himself. Again.
Well,
but he relapsed. He's trying to kill himself.
and
all this shit.
There's even the part before where she's on the phone with Tony, and Tony's like, "Yeah, we'll see you up there." And it's like that has two meanings, like, oh, we'll see you up at the hospital, or we'll see you up in heaven.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And yeah, again, and everything was still in the car where he's just trying to keep it as normal as possible.
Darkness.
And she starts crying, and she figures out, and then
and
like
you can see the exits, like where it's like hospital this way, middle of the woods, and I'm gonna be killed in that way, basically. And it's like he just keeps going down the most barren path, and she's crying harder and harder the entire time.
Yeah.
Until he fucking like just pulls up. He doesn't say anything. He just gets out of the car right away. And then she starts like really freaking out. Like,
drags her out of the car.
Yeah, and then just kills her right there. And it was such a brutal ending to such a beloved character. Like, you just love her the entire time, and you feel bad for her by the end of it. It's fucking darkness. And that's what made that show, again, another fucking staple of television history. They were everybody talks about Game of Thrones isn't scared to kill off the main character because they killed Ned Stark. You know why they had the balls to do that? Well, the books were written first, yeah, but you know why they had the balls to tell a story like that in the first place? It came from a book. It's because the Sopranos were able to do it successfully and prove to HBO that it was a moneymaker.
Yeah, that it will get people to buy in, because you wouldn't do that. No, we will do that.
Death is final. A lot of TV shows do this dumb shit where people disappear, they go into a coma, like these dumb TV tropes where death is final in a TV show, and it takes balls to kill, not just like little side characters. It takes balls to kill a character that you've built up over multiple seasons.
Yeah,
that people
they've had a story arc.
To.
Yeah,
you're
care
afraid that
about.
if you lose that character, you'll lose watchers, and just say fuck it. This is the story. This is how I'm telling it.
Yeah,
Sopranos did that before. I feel like any other show
and
really
it makes
had the
it
balls
better
to do that
way.
Agreed.
Because it's like. It's like, hey, we'll take away things that make you care about the show, but you're going to care about the show even more because we remove it.
And they do it with so many characters, too. It's Pussy. They do it with Adriana. They do it with fucking Christopher. They fucking kill Tony at the end of it, like, unquestionably. They kill Phil Leotardo. Now we're back. They do such a good job of, like, building a character up for so long, and then they kill him off, just like Phil's brother. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. You know what? I'm not doing it.
All right. So, well, and then speaking of shit that fucks,
it's a good bit though. I want to let you know you are missing some gold.
I'm missing quality.
You're gonna lose 4 listeners, but it was the other people that stay. They're gonna love it, but they'll never hear it.
Oh shit. All right. So,
anyways,
yeah. So there is another thing that like fucks up the season for you, like, is Ralph and Janice get together.
It's exactly what you said on the last. Like Janice can't help herself but to get with the worst
the worst possible option.
It's like, you had to kill Richie in your fucking mother's house, and you're like, who's an even bigger scum? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna fuck Ralph. He can't even fuck me. The best parts are This is the early 2000s. Like, I can't
Yes.
imagine it now. There's scenes where he's, like, getting a vibrator jammed in his asshole.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious. Like, you're not showing that,
Yeah.
but it's very apparent that
Yeah.
and he's, like, answering a phone call with his whole vibrator in his ass, and Janice is doing it. Like, talking about him, like, he's like, well, he likes a cheese grater being taken to his dick more than he, like, actually. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, all this crazy, like, deviant, sexual, insane shit, and Janice is like, here I am for it.
Yeah, this is what I do. Oh man, so where do you think? Okay, if eating pussy is gay, like where does getting a vibrator shoved up your ass fall on the Sopranos scale of gay?
Thank you for making the point that I forgot to make, because I wanted to connect those two dots. It was like season 1 starts off with like eating pussy is a crazy crime against Italian humanity.
Yeah.
But now fucking vibrators in your ass and cheese grater in your genitals, and you don't even fuck the women. They just finger your butthole until you bleed. It's like... Like if one is a sin against God, the other one has to be like summoning all the demons from hell and fucking like killing all the meatball saints.
Can you
right?
imagine Junior Soprano being told this? Junior
He
Soprano
has a stroke. Like
Yeah.
you can see half of his face sag down.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Gabagool.
Yeah, it would-
He would melt like a fucking, in the 80s how they would have to do stop motion clay
Yeah.
animation of him just melt, like his skin and blood would come off of him and his skeleton would be left, but a cigar would still be on there and the fucking fucked up 60s frame glasses would be on there.
Yeah, he would look like a human corrupted hard drive. Like you would just see just a pop of light and then just slump over, just instantly killed by this very thought. Oh shit. All right. So we also get beyond that awfulness. Oh, we also get Syl versus the Native American protests of the Christopher Columbus Parade.
Classic.
Again,
Classic episode. And how... go ahead with yours. I'll go back to mine.
this is just such a dumb fucking thing that Syl and Polly Walnuts would do.
All of them.
Yeah,
Even Bobby Baklava opens it up with, he's like, well, nothing I'd like more than fucking smoking mushrooms all day and collecting government checks while I sit on my ass. And it was like, they're all laughing about
Yeah.
it, shit like that. Like, so for every part of that statement is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, I can't even break down how stupid. Hiccups again. Go ahead.
Yeah, but this is 100% who these guys are. And then the fact that, like, not only does Syl do this, but Syl thinks that he is, like, 100% justified in this.
And he's mad.
He is pissed.
genuinely
He's genuinely
pissed.
pissed off.
He takes this to a deeper level than he's taken anything the entire series. He's the most emotionally involved that he's ever been on any topic on this episode. And Tony literally almost, like, you get this sense that, like, is Tony going to have to kill him?
Yeah.
Because he won't let this go? And you almost get the sense that Syl will not let this go. He's been nothing but, like you see why he's a consigliere, because he's like, he is literally just your fucking right-hand man that will just, the one episode that he got to be the boss when Tony gets fucking put down, he almost has a stroke. He freaks the fuck out. He's got to go to the hospital. He can't breathe. He's not cut out for leadership. He's not cut out to be a soldier. He's a good earner. He's a consigliere through and through. He can't be a capo. He can't, none of that. He is the best at his role. The only time that he steps out of that,
talking guy.
the only time that you're like, fuck this guy ever is the Christopher Columbus episode where he's like talking about his heritage. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, the whole thing is fucking insanity. Like, he's going up to the fucking, like, he's dealing with the Anti-Defamation League people, and he's fucking, he was like, well, I've used my real big, what was the atom bomb they used in that episode, where they go over to the Native American Union, and they're like, well, the guy that you're actually using to portray all this material was actually Italian American, and, or whatever it was. It was something like that. I forget exactly how it goes. Now I'm speaking. I thought you would save me on this.
Sorry, I only know so much about this.
Well, no, they show up and they're like, "This is gonna be an atom bomb for him. Hit him with it." And he gives him the information. And then the Native American guy's like, "Yeah, of course, we've known that for years." And he walks out, and you're like, what the fuck was that? And then the show's so good that the scene sits on the Native American character, and he was like, did you know that about? And he's like, of course I didn't know that. He's like, I had to play my cards correctly. They had us there. They really had us. I was like, this was the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever seen. And then the story is that they're like, there's such good writing.
Yeah.
It's so funny. That's funnier than anything that's ever been on fucking Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Any sitcom, The Simpsons or Family Guy combined. And I'm like, I don't even know if they were trying to be funny there. Like, well, they definitely were there, but
Yeah.
it's like, this is not a comedy series, but it's so much a comedy series throughout. There's moments like that where you're like, what the fuck is the plot right now?
Yeah,
Like,
what-
the pussy plot, the actual eating pussy, that's a plot
yeah.
that turns into a war. This is the silliest fucking show ever made. Like, the fucking Ralph's getting fucked in the ass while he's talking about murder on the fight. This is insanity. Like,
Yeah. Again, and then at the same time, though, like, with all this crazy funny shit going on, like, this might get Sil killed.
and it gets darker
Yeah.
and darker, and I don't stop laughing the entire time. Like, I don't know any other show that's like that. Like, the story just keeps getting worse for every character that you've been rooting for. Every time you meet a new guy, you're like, how's he getting killed now? Like, the world starts closing in, and I keep laughing the entire series.
Well-
Like, testament to a great show.
Another thing that makes me laugh and then gets dark is Pyomai.
Yeah, the horse.
Oh, dude, I love Pyomai. So, dude, animals make Tony so happy.
Dude, he falls in love with the horse.
He loves horses.
It makes him kill Ralph.
Yeah.
Again, another great point. Keep going, keep going.
Like, even like in the episode, I think it's like the first episode, him and the ducks in the pool.
Yeah.
Just like if you're an animal, he loves you. And like the cat that shows up around the bang, and again, like
Paulie thinks that he's like, you know what they used to call cats is snakes with fur.
Yeah.
And he's like, you've just been staring at a picture of Christopher the entire time. He's like, there's probably a rat behind the wall. He's like, no, we moved a picture, and he followed it. It's like, what the fuck?
don't let that thing near babies. It'll steal the breath from them. And it's just like, what the fuck?
It takes the breath away. It's so fucking.
Goddamn.
But Tony, yeah, with the Biomai, he fucking loves him.
Yeah.
He's over there brushing his hair like a My Little Pony fucking brony.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, Pyomai.
goes-
Pyomai. Always talking about Pyomai to everybody.
Yeah, he goes full D. Russell Lee autistic girl at horse school.
Yeah, he just instantly is just all about this fucking horse. And then, but it's Ralph's. Like, Ralph bought it, right? So then like this sets up this whole thing where eventually there's a stable fire and the horse gets fucking torched.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing as good. They were gonna have to spend more money than they were gonna make from betting on him. So Ralph was like, I'm gonna cut my losses and just kill this fucking horse. And you also get to see what a fucking uncaring sociopath Tony is in that episode too. Because Ralph bets on him first and gets his big payout. And then Tony's like, Tony, this wouldn't have been possible without you. He counts out like $1,000, hands him a G note, and then Tony just takes the G note and holds it, and he smiles, and he doesn't break the smile, and he doesn't unclench his hand. He just keeps staring at him. And then Ralph like counts out a couple more and looks at him, and he's like, and then he fucking counts out more, and he puts it in, and he's like, thanks. And then he walks away from him. I'm like, it's little things like that. Like you have to watch it. It's all visual cue shit, great acting, like building this character becoming worse and worse. Like while he's dealing with a character that you fucking absolutely hate, it's like, why am I kind of rooting for Ralph right now? Like the series will make you do that, where it's like,
Right.
even a villainous cocksucker, you're kind of like, what do you mean? Like I've seen Tony do like. Why am I on Ralph's side? Like that's the great. Like they treat people like they're people.
Yeah,
like, they're not like
everybody's
black
gray.
and white. They're great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best part about the series.
Definitely there's people like Ralph that are sicker and like more uncaring and just complete narcissists that only care about themselves. Where you're like, ugh. But at the same time, there are moments like that where you're like, well, fuck, Ralph's in the right on this one. Like Tony's being a fucking bullying asshole.
Or when Tony's busting out crack houses, basically, and fucking sending black kids in there to fucking kill crackheads or like shoot up the place and scare crackheads out of there, so that he could like basically take over abandoned properties through the help of like a black guy that's in fucking Congress, and then the white dude, not in Congress, in city council, and the white dude's like, didn't we fight against all this? And he was like, yeah, we did all that shit, and it never went our way, and we didn't make any money, and until we started playing the game, we didn't start fucking making anything. We got a family now. After years of doing this, fuck this. And it's like, without cramming it down your throat, he's making a real actual like point about politics, and like, I'm sorry I jumped from this Ralph thing to this whole, but I'm going to keep doing that. Like, that's just, the story makes so many good points in a way that shows can only hope to do now. Like, it feels like they want to cram points like this down your throat now. They don't know how to be subtle about it, but holy fuck, The Sopranos made every woke-ass point that people love to make now in the most subtle ways that strike people even better. Like, figure out how to write it in there better, and I think that it'll work better. Anyways.
100%. They definitely figure out a way to, like, again, it's a show with depth, and some people take it at a base level, and some people can see the bigger picture and what they're trying to say.
Tank, be honest. Am I hammered right now?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I
think
was like, am I fucking the show?
No, you're fine. You're not fucking the show. We're just talking about a very big thing.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, I'm saying woke over and over again. I was like, oh no, am I drunk? I might be drunk. I've said woke 3 times. Oh no. 4 now.
So I do think that this does set up one of the most brutal fights I've seen in television.
Your wife heard me say woke. I heard the upstairs move.
Did she?
Oh no, dude, I gotta leave. She's coming to get me. She's putting the Black Lives Matter back outside out front to let me know. All right, keep going.
So, all right. So this does set off this huge fight because, again, Tony loves animals. He's pissed at Ralph. Goes over to Ralph and just, dude, it is like one of the most real fights you will see of like just 2 middle-aged guys in a small space.
Spraying cockroach repellent into Tony's
like,
eyes.
Like grabbing a hold of fucking pans and shit. Just
cast iron pan to the face. Hot, too.
Yeah, just whatever. Just, I got to get something like this guy's trying to kill me. Oh shit, I got to try to kill this guy.
You know that at the end of that scene, both of them were hurt on some level. Something hurt. Like, even though everything was breakaway, probably choreographed like properly, the only way that scene got to that level is if the actors actually put their bodies into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Not as much as you probably think, but a little bit. And I think that they did it super effectively.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, what a great scene. One of the most well-acted scenes in all of The Sopranos is that fucking Ralph Cifaretto fight when Ralph's talking about, like, Tony's breaking down Pio Mai and Ralph's pretending like he didn't fucking, like, burn out the entire stable. And fucking Ralph's, like, casually explaining how, oh, yeah, and then the key to the scrambled eggs is you put a dollop of sour cream in it. That stops the cooking process. And then Tony immediately stops the cooking process. Oh, if Pio Mai could have stopped cooking a lot. Like, it's some, like, transition into the fucking, it's the horse thing again. And Ralph, without saying that he burned the thing down, says that he burned the thing down, which then triggers the whole fucking fight. There's a frying pan to the face. They're going through cabinets. They've got poison in their face. They're wrestling through the ground. Fucking, it feels like a real fight.
Yeah.
It feels like the way that you would see 2 fucking middle-aged mobster men fight without guns.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's so real. Like, it really rings, and that's the thing with the show.
I've had a fight like that. It didn't end in death, but I've had fights like that in a kitchen. I'm like, that's pretty much how it goes. Like, everything's everywhere. Whatever is your weapon is right next to you. Like, you're fucking pulling hair, and none of it feels fair, and you're kicking people. And like, it's crazy. Like, they did such a good goddamn job. Whoever choreographed that has been in a fight before. Like, you've been in like a gritty, shitty, like, kitchen fight with some asshole before. Like, the show just has so much of that too. Like, it's not just that, but that's definitely a standout of that season. I would agree.
Yeah, it definitely sticks out.
And then how casually they cut him up later with him and Christopher. Like, when they cut him up and bury him in like 5 different places, whatever the fuck.
I gotta feel like most people wouldn't have a hesitation of cutting up Ralph. I feel like
not at all.
Yeah,
Fuck that guy.
I feel like Tony's kind of spiking the football with that. Like, you know, he's 100%. Like, I'm above ground, you're underneath it now. Fuck you. Leave my fucking sister alone. She's got enough problems. All right. We also get Tony plans an intervention for Christopher. So confronting that Christopher has a heroin problem. Like, that's another big part of this season. And again, it kind of underscores like the father, son, uncle, nephew, like, thing between these 2 characters. Yeah. It's
funny how they do the intervention and everybody basically shits on Christopher in the worst fucking possible. And he's like, what are you, weak? What are you, a woman? Like, they're saying crazy shit to him like that. Like, just really, like, shit that, like, Italian insults that wouldn't insult anybody else. But he's like, what, do you not season your meatballs? Like, it's shit like that the entire time. Like,
yeah, it is, like, the kind of stuff where, like, if there was any kind of mental health professional there, would be like, yeah, don't say that. There's a better way to do this.
And there is one guy that is, like, an intervention specialist, but they're all too much of a personality to let him talk for 3 seconds.
Paulie says something to him. He's like, I'm gonna say this right now. You're weak And just
Yeah,
like,
fuck you.
yeah. And
Suck
just-
my cock, basically.
Yeah,
He pulls
just-
his penis out. Like,
it just drills him.
it's shit like that, basically, the entire time. Like,
But
they get
again-
into a fist fight by the end of it, and Tony basically has to. They beat the fuck out of him, and then they show up with him with a concussion. He's like, "I'm gonna tell you one time, you get clean, I'm gonna kill you." Oh, Gabagool.
Let him
and then he
know.
gets the fuck out of there. And then he has to go to fucking rehab, and he can't even have chocolate bars because they got caffeine in them.
Poor Christopher.
Well, yeah, poor Christopher, who's
Poor
been
Christopher.
murdering people and shooting heroin the whole time and beating the fuck out of Adriana. What a bad character arc for that guy.
Again, this is the show where it's like, hey, do you like this guy? This guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah, every one of them.
Furio unexpectedly leaves the USA, causing heartache for Carmela and anger for Tony. So this is an interesting thing because, again, there's this whole relationship that starts to pop up between Furio and Carmela, and then that's fucking shit up. And now Furio's like, look, I'm not getting any deeper. I'm ejecting. And so then now
Carmela knows that there's Gumas the entire time.
Yes,
But one of the
lots.
Gumas calls in, fucking, like, starts... She's salty that her sister or cousin or whatever, the legless girl, is getting fucked by Tony now, and he won't give her the time of day, so she gets drunk on fucking potato vodka and calls Carmela and spills the beans. And it's one of the most powerful acting moments by Edie Falco is the breakup scene. What season is that? 4 or 5?
I forget. But
Do you
yeah,
remember the breakup though?
yeah, where they
I felt
they
like I
separate.
got moved to tears by it, and I was like, shit like this normally doesn't like. Good acting always moves me to tears because I'm a fucking pissy-eyed fucking bleep.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of those scenes where I was like, normally shit like this doesn't get me, but just the way that she was like getting thrown up against the wall, and she's like, just get the fuck out. Like, I can't even do it justice, but the way that she's like crying and telling him to leave, I'm like, damn, dude, like, I've definitely been a menace in some lady's life where she's done this to me and I felt terrible. Like, not on that level, but I was like, I cheated on her. Like, it brought up emotions like that in me.
Yeah.
It felt like she really got hurt like that. Like, props to Edie Falco for being able to fucking play Carmela, like, so good. Like, I feel like there's so many background and periphery characters in that series that you don't give enough credit to until they get their little standout moments. And I feel like the biggest standout moment for Edie Falco was that breakup scene when she's throwing shit out. You know, when Tony rolls up in the SUV and sees all this shit out there and then shit getting thrown out. And she's freaking out, and she, like, even her getting slammed against the wall, she still doesn't give a fuck. Like, basically,
like,
beat
go
me
ahead,
up. I don't
I don't
care.
care.
My whole world is ruined. Fuck you. And then
Yeah.
she's like, I just want you out.
Yeah.
And she's, like, completely losing her mind. I'm like, damn, dude, this get me choked up. Like, this feels like she's really been, like, she's been dealing with this, and the money is one thing, and to be able to give her kids the lifestyle. And she's broken this down a couple times. Like, I put up with all this bullshit because, like with the talking to the preacher, the Father Phil.
Yeah.
Like, I did all this because I thought, and I've sinned because I thought that my kids could have anything they wanted, and they've addressed it. But when it really comes to a head, and that Russian girl calls and then tells them about that extramarital affair, and Tony's got no lies, like all of his lies have been exhausted, and it's just out there on Front Street, and she's fucking just completely right, and the marriage is falling apart, and he's the fucking the head of his family while shit isn't necessarily going great for him. It's like, holy fuck, what a great like plot device to further the story, like to make this more compelling. And what a great fucking job by Edie Falco to not just make that some casual breakup moment where the scorned woman is mad about the cheating man. No, it feels like this woman's been wrong that you care about throughout the series. Like it really hit me in that way.
Yeah.
Like, that was a standout for me.
She's definitely a character that, again, it's the bird in the golden cage, where it's like she can have anything she wants, and she takes advantage of that, and she's always wearing designer everything, and Tony showers her in expensive gifts and buys things for her.
So that he could fuck other women.
Exactly.
The whole time.
And then...
That's what all that stuff is. It's just a facade so that he can...
And she's always been able to lie to herself and be like, it's not like that or whatever, and kind of put it in the back of her head. But then when, that bomb gets
They've all
dropped
got gumas.
when it drops on her front doorstep and she has to confront it, it really does change things. And yeah, it is a very powerful thing.
There's another thing where you're like, why am I rooting for these pieces of shit? Like, this lady knows what he's up to. In season 1, she's helping him hide guns and money. She knows what's up. He's talking to her about murder. It's like, why do I care? Like, they're getting their just desserts, but I feel bad for this broken family.
Again, great characters.
And great character development.
Yes, very
and
much
you're even
so.
rooting for these rich kid fucking mobster family assholes that you don't want to like. And you're like, Oh, it sucks that their family's being broken up. And I'm like, by their age, my dad had killed himself, and fucking, I come from a fucking lower middle class family that turned to be poor. Like, why do I care? Fuck these people. They've had a better life than I'll ever have being from this family. Why am I rooting for, like, everything in your instincts tells you not to, but you watch their story.
Your writing's
and you
not
feel
as good. That's the problem.
Is that the issue?
You need better writers.
I never considered that.
Yeah, get better writers.
Yeah, if somebody could fucking write that in. Yeah. How did I sneak my dad's dead into your podcast? Yeah, I always get one.
You gotta. If people are playing
one.
the Cody Hucker drinking game at home, they are sure to.
I haven't
notch
said the
that
F
one
word once though.
That's
true. Not yet. Not yet.
You're like, will I throw this out here? Maybe.
No.
All right. So the fifth season.
Fuh.
So the fifth season of The
The
Sopranos aired on
fifth
HBO from March 7th to June 6, 2004. Oh, fifth season.
Wait. When was the DVD?
It was the Region 1 was
Region one,
released
Region
on
one, yes.
June 7th, 2005.
Nice. I like that.
All right. The story of season 5 focused on the return of two prominent members of the DeMeo. Am I saying it right?
DeMeo. Yeah,
DeMeo family. We get Tony and Fetch Lamano.
Feach Lamano, which is played by what the fuck is Robert Loggia.
Yeah, and Tony
Which again, another real gangster character, motherfucker. I love Feach Lamano, and people don't like him. I love this character. I love Feach Lamano.
Well, and then Tony Blonadetto, played by Steve Buscemi. Hey,
Yeah.
shout out Steve Buscemi.
Season 5's great. I forget about this. Season 5's awesome. Steve Buscemi does a great job in fucking season 5 as Tony B. They call him Tony B.
Yeah.
Because so you don't have to do Blendetta the whole time.
Yes, yeah, and so you also don't have to get him confused with Tony.
So Tony B goes away and
He has a lengthy stay in prison and a struggle to reintegrate themselves back
You
in the
actually
family
find
after the
out
life
that-
of the crime.
like
that's
Tony's
where they're
second
trying to
ever
come
panic
back.
attack comes from like the first time that Tony has a panic attack is when his dad hiccups. I'm sorry, listeners. I've been chugging alcohol. I'm not fucked up enough to where I can't talk. It's literally the hiccups are getting me. So Tony has his first panic attack throughout the series when he catches his father cutting a man's thumb off, and that's Mr. Satrielli, the guy that owns the pork store. And then he shows up at the house with his dad. His dad's like, any other kid would have freaked out and been a real pussy about it. I'm real proud of you. Anyways, we got these nice roasts, and he shows it to his mom, and his mom getting these roasts sends him into a panic attack. First panic attack, second panic attack is when Tony Blendetto needs to go. Tony B, fucking Steve Buscemi's character, back in the day is going to go bomb this car. Tony's supposed to be with him. Tony B is the one that helped bust out Feats Lamana's card game. That's where Tony got his start in the mob business. That's how he wasn't just Johnny Boy Soprano's kid. He was his own fucking like, oh, this is a real guy that's really fucking like cut out for this world. He's not just like a hijack kid. He's not just robbing the ice cream truck. He's a real fucking gangster. He does that with Tony Blendetto, Tony B, his cousin, and then he's gonna go bomb this car out, but he has a panic attack. You find out later. So Tony B does 20 years in prison, and you find out later that he's got twin kids that are like fucking 13. You're like, well, how's that possible? He snuck his cum out of prison for him. Tony did. Tony Soprano sneaks Tony Blendetto's cum out to go impregnate his wife so that he could have twin kids. So that's the whole setup to this season. Tony gets out of prison. He wants to be a reformed guy. He takes the money, because every mobster that fucking did his time, they get the little package they're getting. They're like, here's opportunities, and he's like, nah, I want to be on the up and up. I want to live straight. Feast Lamana, the guy that they've been talking about this card game the entire fucking time. The reason that fucking Jackie Aprile Jr. is killed, the thing that Ralph Sifreto's been talking about, the thing that Tony got to start from, the thing they've been talking about for forever. It was Feats Lamana that ran the original card game that got hijacked by Tony, right? Feats Lamana gets out, that's played by this legendary character actor, Robert Loggia. If you're not familiar, have you ever watched Reservoir Dogs? Do you know that scene in Reservoir Dogs where Chris Penn and fucking, what is dude's name that cuts dude's ear off? Michael, what the fuck's his name?
Not Rappaport, Michael Madsen.
Yeah, Michael Madsen in the flashback are talking to their gangster father, whatever the fuck. That's Robert Loggia. That's him in Reservoir Dogs. He's a classic character, badass actor. That fucking deep. I'm not gonna get it, but that deep, gravelly fucking voice. You really believe him. He's 7 years. He's dead now. He's 70, 80 years old when he comes into this fucking season, and you buy him as a badass because he is. He just is. He unquestionably. There's a way that certain people carry themselves, even in acting, where you're like, You're not making this up. There's only so much acting you can do. This guy was a badass. He's telling these stories like he was, but he adds a lot of acting prowess to the fucking character. He makes he fully fleshes this out. So these two characters are kind of like fulcrum points for the 5th season, I guess I would say.
Yeah, and it is the whole...
Tony Leotardo gets introduced, which is a guy that's got out of prison that was from the New York crew, Johnny Sack's crew. There's a lot of issues brewing with Johnny Sack throughout this entire thing that we've not really touched on. And shit like
Johnny Sack has never really got along with Tony. Ralph has had problems.
No, he did, and then they had an issue that couldn't get resolved. Ralph Cifaretto talked shit about his wife.
Yeah.
Tony couldn't get that resolved. Yeah. He wanted to kill Ralph over this fucking thing, and even the boss in New York was like, "We're not gonna fucking kill nobody over this." This is another thing that that Francesi guy on YouTube, worth watching, breaks that whole sit down, and he's like, "Yeah, this whole thing makes 100% sense." The way that he was like, the way that Tony ran it and everything was like, allegedly. What does allegedly mean? What do you mean allegedly? He said that your wife had a 95-pound mole in her ass or whatever the fuck. All this whole thing. Anyways, going back forward. There's this whole issue with fucking Johnny Sack's crew. That's the New York side. Tony Soprano's crew is all New Jersey side. We haven't really touched on that for real, but there's like
this is the first season it becomes like really like an important thing where it's like it's always existed, but now it's like, oh, this is the factions are beginning to pick at each other.
It's coming to a head now.
Yeah,
it's like something's got to either fucking you got to shit or get off the pot at this point.
All right, so rest of the stuff from the season that we haven't hit on yet is outside of the Tony B thing in the Fletch Lamanna and the families is Tony and Carmela adjust their new lives and each other following their separation, which greatly affects their son. AJ, Uncle Junior's health continues to deteriorate, and Adriana's guilt over her role as an FBI informant grows. Christopher struggles with his newfound sobriety. Okay, so we have the possible Tony and Adriana car affair wreck. Car wreck affairs thing. Yeah.
Starts off with her going to go like get a dart off the ground, and she's like on her knees in front of Tony, and he's like, get up, get the fuck up. What are you doing? And then they're like gonna go buy Coke in the car, and then fucking they get in that wild car accident, and the rumor gets around that fucking Tony got his dick sucked by Adriana. Yeah. And it has the best conclusion ever, which is like, Tony B helps figure this out by being a fucking massage therapist. It's crazy because like they literally are about to have to kill Christopher because he's on a death spiral. Just to sum it up quickly, he's trying to kill Tony. He shows up at the Bing with a loaded gun. They have to take the gun from him. They bring him outside, hold him down. They go kill him, and Tony's like, "Wait, I think that we can prove this." They have to go drive to the hospital with Christopher in the back seat to go get the doctor that was there at the time that won't take a bribe from Tony. They won't take a bribe from any of them. That has to explain to them. He was like, "Well, is there a way to like explain that he didn't have like, or that she didn't have his penis in his mouth at the time?" And he was like, "How the fuck would I be able to figure that out? I'm a doctor. I wasn't there. All I do is treat injuries." And he's like, "Well, wouldn't there be an issue with the?" He says something very medical because he knows it from massage school. Right. Tony B does, and he's like, "The clavicle wouldn't that have been injured?" And he was like, "If she was properly wearing her seatbelt at the time, wouldn't that have an injury?" And he was like, "Well, actually, yeah, you're right. She did have all those injuries, and it would be like if you want to check, she should have injury here, here, and here if she was wearing her seatbelt." And he was like, "Wouldn't that indicate that she was in the upright position and she couldn't have possibly have been doing that?" And he's like, Yeah, I guess that's what it would say. And he was like, "Can I fucking go now?" And Tony goes to pay him, and he's like, "Fuck you!" And he goes and leaves. And he's like, "Are we convinced yet?" And then Moltisanti's like, I guess. After almost killing the boss of the family in front of everybody, Tony still lets it go. I mean, so this kid's literally on his second strike at this point. It's like, and he should be on his last one, but because he's basically family because of what Dickie meant to Tony, he's not. But you know that this is a build-up to just eventual fucking self-destruction.
Something has to happen because Christopher just keeps making mistakes. Also, and there it's one, and again, another through line throughout this is not only is that like, I don't know, it's weird that like Christopher is like able to try to do this thing where he like wants to develop a script and he wants to get out of the mob, you know, and like that's always kind of a thing. And he's talking to people in Hollywood, and it's just like
he has a funny line where he's talking to Adriano at one point, and They're like, what would you do if you weren't in the mob? And he's like, well, I got my looks, so I could be a model. And you look at Christopher and you're like, what the fuck are you? That's how self-absorbed and crazy. It's just it's a little aside that you would skip over for any other reason. But if you just think about it for 2 seconds, you're like, what? This guy thinks that he looks that great? Like,
I also love the fact that none of these guys have good bodies on the show.
shining example of all their narcissism is how much of the shit they all think they are.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all garbage men. They're
wearing
tracksuits all day. They smell like pepperoni. And they're fucking... Paulie's got wings. He bleaches wings in his hair because he thinks it looks cool. Not because that's how his hair dyes. You find out in an episode where it's like, oh, fuck, he is dyeing that into his hair. He's doing that on purpose.
That's the move.
It's crazy. It's crazy pants moves on everybody's part. Like, nobody's fucking, like, even sort of dialed into reality on this show. It's so insane. It's what makes them all so compelling.
Oh, this is also one of my favorite parts of this season because again, it's a Paulie moment. So remember, there's an episode where somehow Tony ends up with a fucking painting of himself and Pyomai together.
Yeah, and he's like, burn it. He gets pissed. And he's like, burn it.
And
Paulie's like, whoa, what the fuck? He was like, that frame alone cost $3,000. Loaded up in the back of my car. It's got fucking fire burns on it. And he brings it to the shittiest painter possible. He's like, is there any way you could change it to make it like Napoleon? He's like, even the painter's like, what the fuck are you? He's like, I don't know. It's Tony painted like Napoleon because it's a picture of Tony as he is now, the black suit on, standing next to Pyomai in like a Bob Ross style fucking landscape. Yeah. And then he has a guy painted so he's in a regal ass fucking like
Napoleon
official
suit.
Napoleon uniform, fat as hell. And then Tony finds it eventually. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah. He's like, "Oh, Bubba," like he's trying to explain it.
Here. So there was this time where like Tony visits Paulie at his house, and it's
so good,
one of the
dude.
Times he actually does
and he has
it.
the shittiest house too. You pointed this out earlier.
He's got a shithole of a house.
Big giant painting of Napoleon Tony.
And then the portrait. So Tony sees this portrait of himself with him and Pyomai, which he wanted destroyed, and it wasn't. And then he had no clue that Paulie had this thing. He had no clue that he had changed his clothes to that of a colonial general.
And you get the actual reaction of Tony Soprano. Like, it's not acting. It feels like they surprised James Gandolfini with this. He's like, what the fuck is this?
Tony demands to know why he had him painted as a lawn jockey. Like, and then Paulie says he did it out of sincere admiration for Tony as a leader. And Tony pauses, but then rips the painting off the wall and puts it in a dumpster.
Doesn't Paulie re-rescue it? Am I misremembering this?
I don't know.
I thought he re-rescues it, like he gets it back out.
I just love this is like one of those things, like, why is this even in the show? It makes no sense.
But it's one of the best parts of the show, right?
It's so hilarious.
We both, as you're telling me this, I'm getting weak. And I've seen this 300 times at this point. Like, and it's so good.
It's so good. And yeah.
And I can't explain to you as much as you can't explain to me why it's good. I don't know. It just is. Watch it. It's great.
Man. And it's just the fact that like Paulie would think that's a good idea. And it's just such
it's believable.
It is, because he's so dumb. He's so dumb that he would think this is the thing. Like, and it's funny too to watch Paulie get deflated because it was a sincere move on his part. He's like, I think he is the captain, and like the leader. And
that's
all
my
this
skipper.
Yeah, and
look at Skip.
And then Tony just completely freaks out on him. Oh shit! All right, so we also get the New York power struggle ends. Tony meets Johnny at his New Jersey house and offers a percentage of Tony B's Bloomfield Avenue casino as a peace offering to Phil. At the moment the feud is settled, Tony looks over Johnny's shoulder and sees an armed man approaching. They both run away. It is the FBI and they arrest Johnny. Tony throws his handgun in the snow and navigates the neighborhood to avoid the feds. So that, like, it's like in winter or something. Tony's like fucking sliding around.
He would have never gotten away in real life. He's a middle winter. He's wearing a black suit. He's a big fat He looks like the penguin from the
the second the Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah, Tim Burton Batman. He looks like wah, wah, wah. Like he's literally making that noise as he's escaping, as he throws his gun cartoonishly into the air. And for some reason, just Johnny Sack gets arrested. He's like hopping fences with his fat ass to try to get away before he can finally make a phone call about like having to get back. Walks all the way back to fucking New Jersey from New York. all back roads, you know.
Yeah.
There's not a waterway and a bridge in between anywhere. And fucking like makes it back all fucked up and shit like that. And he's like, well, made it out of there scot free. But the gun being thrown is like obviously like foreshadowing to the kid's gonna find that later, and that's gonna be a problem.
That is definitely gonna be a big
element.
problem. Yeah, man. And then we also get
So Johnny Sack's put in jail, which kind of like ends some problems theoretically until you realize that the next in command to take over, like there's a whole war that happens in between, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get into it. But after Carmine has his fucking like stroke at the golf course, basically Johnny Sack's in charge. He's not, but he is, but he's not. And there's a war in between Carmine's son and fucking Johnny Sack. Are you offering me a beer?
No, I was telling you to move your mic down because you were.
Oh, sorry, my fault. My bad, dude. Yeah, I'll get right back on it. I was like, oh, beers. Yeah, I should make this podcast worse somehow. So there's a whole war, and then fucking it ends in Johnny Sack being the fucking the boss basically, and then he gets arrested. And then you think the problems are over. Power shifts over to Phil Leotardo, right? Am I kind of getting that timeline sort of kind of right?
Yeah, and again, like it is just the whole thing where now it's. Like you're saying, you think a problem is going away, but now an even bigger one, which is always kind of the thing with this show. Like, it's just always getting worse. Like,
at what point in the show did you take a bad picture of me that I'm going to regret you taking later?
Oh, I haven't done that yet. Thanks
you
for
haven't done it
reminding
yet?
me. Yeah.
Can you do it now? Like, can I get a pose down? Because last time it's tagged on my thing, and it's me literally like my tongue's out and shit. Like, can I at least be warned this time? I already got a mullet. Come on, dude.
You do have a mullet.
You're gonna make it worse now.
Is this like your post podcast thing? Like, where like a woman turns 40 and she gets new hair. Now you do after using the podcast.
That's right. Yeah, I lost a child, so now I need a new haircut because I'm a new woman. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I went to the barber and I was like, "Can you make me look like I have Down syndrome?" They're like, "I got you." Yes.
They were like, we're gonna make sure there's a lot of forehead. You're like really putting that.
No,
on
it's normally down, but this is the first time that I put it up for an audio only podcast. I figured this was the time to put hair gel in.
This is the time to do it.
What a fucking
right?
dumb idiot I am, because I knew you were gonna take a picture of me, and I was like, now thinking about it, I'm like, that's the worst picture that's ever been taken of me. Fuck, I hate this picture. No, I'm a full narcissist, but nobody's rooting for me. That's why the Bastard Sermon wasn't successful, because it was just 3 narcissists that nobody except for you and one guy from Norway were rooting for, and that was it.
Again, get better writing. All right,
Can I see that picture? Hold on.
Hold on. All right, so the 6th and final season HBO drama series, The Sopranos, is broadcast in 2 parts, which this is an interesting take that they did, because again, all the seasons were like 13 episodes. You basically get like a double season here. And so
is it 24 episodes total? Is that what 12 and 12?
Yeah.
That's great.
It's a lot. Like
it's 2 seasons. Why didn't they just say instead of A and B? It's like a season is 10. Go ahead, finish your point.
Yeah, no, I agree though.
Sorry.
And I agree that now a season is like 10 episodes or something. It makes sense.
They're already doing 13. It's nuts.
It's just nuts. So it's broadcast in 2 parts. The first beginning on March 12th, 2006 and ending on June 4th, 2006. The second beginning on April 8th, 2007. Oh, sorry. The first half season was 12 episodes. The final second half season was 9 episodes.
Season 5 ends with Tony Blundetto getting killed, basically. So Tony Blundetto kills Phil Leotardo's. Go ahead.
Oh, and it just concluding the series finale airing on June 10th, 2007. Basically critical acclaim for the series. Most people, a controversial final ending. People were split on it.
It's a good ending.
And all right, so take it away.
Season 5 ends, I believe. Is it season 5 or season 6A?
With
Tony B getting murdered. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Tony B gets
assassinated
by Tony because he doesn't want him tortured, murdered by Phil Leotardo. So he promises that Tony did something stupid where he was upset about somebody getting killed in the middle of this like stupid back and forth. And like these mobsters have these like what you would consider a stupid back and forth. Their little stupid back and forth is your best friend's getting murdered. So one of Tony B's friends gets murdered. He feels like the only proper thing to do back is to go try to kill Phil Leotardo. Ends up killing Phil Leotardo. Why do I keep saying Phil? Man, I've been drinking a lot of these twisted teas, huh?
Phil.
These twisted teas.
Phil.
Twisted teas, me and Phil. Yeah, so Tony B's firing shots off. Tony B, again, is fucking Steve Buscemi. Firing shots off at... Phil Leotardo is the guy from Casino that plays fucking Tommy's right-hand man.
Yeah, the white-haired guy with the... like
You've seen him in everything.
Everything mob.
Great actor.
You've seen him.
Mwah. One of the best. Right up there with Robert Loggia, right up there with Michael Imperioli, right up there with James Gandolfini. Great casting, great character. Anyways, his brother gets killed. He dies in his arms. He has a big fucking vendetta that he wants to fill. He wants to rape and murder fucking Tony B for this. And Soprano knows that. He finds him at the end of the series, kills himself. This creates a giant amount of like issues for the crew because Phil wanted to handle that himself. So after Johnny Sack goes to jail and Phil's running the crew, he's kind of like nickel and dime fucking Tony every which way he can because he doesn't feel like he's gotten full justice for Tony killing Tony B. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Am I setting that up correctly?
And so then we come into the season, and then early...
Suck. Go ahead.
All right, so Junior shoots Tony, and he slips into a coma, which this happens early on, and it's one of those things where it's like now Tony kind of starts thinking about his life a bit more, and this becomes a major part of the season too. Is like, well, what is happening?
Isn't it like the something about a La Manja, and then he shoots fucking Tony in the gut?
Yeah.
Oh, that's another great fucking episode. Like it's a lot of fun to just like see it all play out. The best part of it is like everything that I made fun of Lloyd's autism for, the train autism, not the real thing that he has, but Tony's like he's busy and Junior's having an issue that needs to be taken care of. And normally Bobby Baklava and fucking his wife Janice, now Janice has finally decided to settle down with a nice guy, Bobby, which is the first time in the series.
Is great.
Yeah, it's the first time in the series that she settled down with somebody.
She's picked a good guy.
Nothing is funnier than Tony coming over there, like heated, opening the garage door up just to find fucking Bobby Baklava in a full train conductor outfit with the train hat on, just fucking letting trains go. And he's like, what? And he's like, you know what, nothing. I'll handle it myself. Which is so fucking funny. And he goes over to handle himself and he gets shot in the gut and he goes into a fucking coma. I'm like, God damn, like, this show just knows how to play its humor so well.
It's also,
I do need better writers for my life because I feel like that's happened to me at some point and I've just not been able to articulate it well.
It's also so crazy, like how much they tie this ridiculous train thing into Bobby.
He gets shot to death in a train store,
right? And
he was literally like, my son won't appreciate it. How much is it? And he's like, $1,500. He's like, fuck it, give me the trains. And as he's packaging up $1,500 model trains, he gets shot to death. It's like, why is that funny? Well, I can't explain it to you unless you've seen it, but it's so fucking stupid that
and it's also like crazy the way they film it because like it's in slow mo. You see him get shot. He falls into a gigantic train display.
Kids are scattering throughout the store. They're upset. They're freaking out, hiding for their lives.
And then they shoot a fucking locomotive going off the tracks and crashing off a toy bridge and hitting the floor beside his dead body. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, this show is so dark and hilarious at the same time.
So good.
And there's and they do so much build up to it. Like there's another scene where he's in the garage and Janice comes out and she's all pissed at him, and he's like, "This is my hobby. This is my one thing that brings me joy. Like, just let me have this and quit belittling it." And she's just like,
"He's got a full conductor hat on." Quit belittling.
The hat's the best part. The hat is by far the best part. Oh shit! So I
do like to think that's what Lloyd does in his free time when no one's watching.
You think he's got the hat?
I think that he definitely has. He has 3 of those hats, one for every color of the season.
Makes sense. You want to make sure you're seeing seasonal.
It makes perfect sense. Yes.
All right. So how about then another thing we get? Speaking of like changing in characters, Vito being gay becomes common knowledge this season, and that's like another big thing that pops up.
He's like in the middle of like a a leather daddy bar.
Right.
He's got the hat. He's got like a full fucking like Rob Halford hat. And
Yeah,
getup
he's
on.
got everything on.
He's like dragging a guy by a fucking chain, and then the guys show up to collect money from the bar, and he's like, just kidding, right, guys? Come on, don't tell nobody. And they're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
And he's got to go on a lam, and he fucking like as a whole
goes New Hampshire.
gay side story with a fucking or a volunteer firefighter.
Yeah.
Like, which is a funny side like gay story.
Yeah, and it's
Of
just,
course, it was a handle. Like, as much as that show was progressive, how funny is it that the only side gay character that they could think of was a motorcycle riding, fucking leather bound volunteer firefighter with a handlebar mustache? Like, that is a very funny side gay character for the early 2000s.
yeah. The show just like constantly hitting you with stuff like like seeing Vito in the leather daddy outfit was also just crazy because like you've only ever seen this man in suits or tracksuits.
No, you saw him suck a dick. Remember from Meadows' boyfriend at the time at the construction site because he was going to quit.
Right.
And he keeps like trying to like.
I know he keeps, but like to see him like all
Yeah.
like what I'm saying is like you see him in like these two things, and now he's in the full leather death in like the whole like breaking down of the world where they all
It's like
see
the Tropic Thunder quote, but gay. Yeah, I got you.
And,
Never go full.
and so then like they're just like the whole thing of them just like intersecting him and him being like, oh fuck, this changes everything, because again the whole deal with the mafia and their world, and oh, this is gay, that's weird, and we don't want anything to do with that.
Such a sad ending to the story. They literally kill him by sticking a pool stick up his ass in a fucking hotel room.
Yeah.
Wow, what a fucking dark ending.
And again, fuck these guys. Why are we cheering for them?
Dog shit characters, all of them, and you're like, they don't even give you an option for a good guy. There's no Superman that's coming to save it all. It's like literally like pick the best of the worst. Like your choices are only bad, and this will be what's considered to be the greatest TV of all time. That's what makes it such good, compelling television. Like they don't even try to like steer away from it. They steer further into it the further it goes, and it's like that's what built the fan base so much. It's just such a good example, makes the show great. Like there's nobody to cheer for, and yet you're still here talking about it 20 years later.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk Christopher for a minute. So Christopher is working to try to get his movie made. He can't get it figured out. Like people are kind of fucking with him. Finally does get it made. He makes Cleaver. So, and then,
which is like actually in real life, one of the Baldwin brothers is in it. It's like the only thing he's known for in real life is playing a fake movie in a TV show and being the act. But he goes by one of the Baldwin brothers, and he goes by himself in the show. But the only thing that he's known for acting wise for real is playing that character on that TV show. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, to be the only ball between Steven and Alec, you're not those two, but the only thing you're known for is a fake movie within a real TV show. Like, This is fucking insane to me.
So Christopher does get the happy ending. He finally gets his film made, but then Christopher gets killed.
Yeah.
So you want to set that up for us? Talk about that.
He's relapsing on heroin, and fucking he's trying to hide it again because he helped get his wife killed, basically, or his soon-to-be wife, his fiance. So he like finds a clever like what an addict's always gonna do. I have a new excuse to shoot heroin again because this bad thing happened to me. And then fucking he's in a car with Tony, and he's taking Tony somewhere, and he's got a kid on the way. There's a child's car seat in the back seat right behind him, and there's a drunk driver coming at him, and he fucking swerves to miss him. I think it's the drunk driver's fault. Like at first, you don't see it coming. If you're watching the show and you've never seen it before, it happens out of the blue. Like you just thought it's gonna be a car ride. Even if they fucking like get into a car accident, you think that's gonna be the extent of it. Nope. They tumble off the road. Christopher's real fucked up. Tony's kind of fucked up. He's hurt, but he's not like really fucked up. Christopher's choking up blood, and he's like, "You gotta change seats with me." And then he admits that he's back on heroin. And then Tony looks back, and then he sees a big giant log that it's penetrated the car, and it's gone through the car seat where a baby would have been if there was a baby there. And he knows that Christopher's got a baby along the way. And he's had this bad string of gambling luck this entire time, like throughout the season, just this shitty gambling luck that keeps going on throughout the entire thing. And he sees Christopher choking on blood, asks him to help him. And then he's like, fuck this, and he just kills him. He kills fucking Christopher, chokes him, puts his hand over his mouth, and he can't defend himself because he's so fucked up. And when the paramedics arrive, he just tells them that he was dead on impact. And they believe him, and life goes on. And while everybody else is upset about Christopher's passing, Tony's relieved. He's like, he feels like there's a weight off his chest. And then his gambling luck improves. He goes on this fucking, like, this masculine journey. He takes peyote with this hooker and goes to Vegas. And he has this, like, moment where he starts putting money, and they've been setting this up for like 3 episodes. He's been losing on everything. Fucking can't win a bet to save his fucking life. It feels like he's jinxed, and he starts just putting money randomly down on a table, and he's high on mescaline, and it fucking just starts winning, and he keeps winning, and he feels like he just won all of his money back in one night, randomly just playing the most unlikely to win game, and he falls back like tripping balls in a suit, and that's how the fucking episode where Christopher dies ends, which just contributes so much more to your point of what a great white shark sociopath. There's no good characters in the show, but wow, you're really starting to build what a piece of dog shit fucking Tony Soprano is. Like, this character that you've kind of fell in love with, had this fiance that you also fell in love with. You understood that he had to kill her, that he's a piece of shit, and you kind of have like this empathy for him for being a drug addict and all this shit. And Tony's just like, fuck this kid to death. Fuck him. He's made through this is strike 3. The kid could have died if he was in the car. It doesn't matter that it was somebody else's fault that we got into a car accident. You were on heroin. You admitted it. Fuck you. You're dead. And then, not only that, that wasn't a hard decision for him to make. He's tired of everybody bitching about it. He's upset that anybody's like even warning Christopher. Then he's stoked that his luck turns around on his death. And it's like, wow, that's a real turning moment for Tony Soprano's character. I feel like where you just, it's for me, completely irredeemable. Great moment for the series where I'm just like, I don't like Tony anymore. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not on his side anymore. Fuck this guy. You know.
Again, the show shows you these sides of him where it's like this is a reason why not to like him.
Yeah.
And then eventually,
I think that was the last one for me though, where I was like,
Yeah.
fuck this guy forever. Like, this guy sucks. Like, this guy, there's no good part to him. Like, I could enjoy him being whatever he is, but I can't root for him anymore. Like, there's no more left. And it's right at the end. Like, that they figured out how to do it to where your gas tank's empty for your empathy right when he's about to die. You know what I mean?
And so let's set that up then with the final episode. So how'd you feel about it?
I feel like we should have started like drinking whiskey to start this podcast, and then we could have ended just like the last episode. Like, as we get to the last one, just both of us are snoring asleep. Nobody knows what's going on. Yeah, I hated it at first. I remember watching it live when it happened, and my dad hating it and saying, what a fucking, my stepmom being like, what a fucking terrible ending to a great TV show, and that stuck with me for years. And then I heard the fan theories, and then I rewatched the show in high school, and then I rewatched it again when I went to Dilly, and then I rewatched it again after that with my friend Evan, and I really started talking to people that had a greater understanding for it, and then I watched it again and again and again, and I was like, well, how else does it end? I mean, do you want to watch Tony get popped in the fucking head right at the end of it? Or do you want to just, like, kind of just get that he died and make up your own fan theory? I know David Chase confirmed it, but him getting shot to death in a diner at the end is kind of the only way that it works. I don't know that it's the best way to end it, but I think it's kind of beautiful. It kind of like, it makes you feel how you felt the entire time, kind of, sort of. Like, I don't know whether or not to be mad at this or happy at this. I feel upset and like happy that I didn't see him die, but like, you didn't give me a conclusion, but like, I shouldn't be rooting for him anyways, and I shouldn't care about this character, but why do I? And all these feelings and all these fan theories, and it's like, at the same time that all that makes it more compelling of an ending, it also like leaves it so open that you're kind of like, give me a little more. Let me see. I've spent fucking years with these characters. I keep rewatching this. You wrote these compelling characters for so many years that I pay attention to. Give me a little something. Give me the fucking, the Goodfellas after credits of fucking, and here's where he ended up. And that's where you get none of that. It's blackness. And then most people did.
Yeah.
I remember them checking to make sure that hitting the guide button to see if it worked. And then you saw credits and it was like, that was the end? That was the real end? Yeah, that was the real end.
I think a lot of people wanted that whole Joe Pesci thing from either Goodfellas where he gets popped in the head, or even worse, Casino where he gets beaten with the baseball bat
with his brother in the
cornfield.
cornfield.
And it's just like, okay, this is this horrible character. He has to die in some big way, and instead you get this very other version of that where it's like, first of all, it's in front of his family. Like in the two worlds that have always had to collide do collide at once, where it's like, it's the mafia side of it, and it's his family, and it's together, and it kills him, and he's dead, and that's pretty powerful, and it is interesting just to see them to go in the way they did. I'm of the belief that like it gets across what happened. I don't know, maybe it's better if you see somebody walk up and pop him in the head, but maybe not. I guess we'll never know.
I love The Sopranos. I feel like it was I'm always conflicted depending on how I feel about the ending, but I think that it's still one of the best TV shows that have ever been put out. Can we end like this? What's your favorite episode? Do you have a one standout favorite episode ever?
I think the Pine Barrens is probably up there for me.
It's up there for
as
me,
far
too.
as like something that really stands out for me. It's more moments, like the stuff like Sil killing Adriana.
Great point.
Always sticks with me. And
Moments are so much better.
Yeah.
Like little quotes, like little pieces.
the pie am I thing always sticks with me. The whole the Ralph versus Tony fight in the kitchen always sticks with me. Just there's like snapshots in time of shit that happened throughout the show. Always kind of sticks with me as further in a big episode. But yeah, I think Pine Barrens does stick, just because like it is such a crazy story, and it combines like all the different stuff of like the humor, the offbeat, why did this happen? Now it's a whole story thing, the violence, and you also have something in that with both Paulie and Christopher. We're like, are these guys going to live through this? Like, are one of them going to get got by a Eastern Bloc Green Beret, or are they going to freeze to death out in the middle of the woods? Because people die on this show.
Commendatory for me. It's got to be mine for sure. I already broke it all down, but what a great fucking explanation for
Which one was that?
where they go to Italy.
Where they go to Italy? All right,
Yeah.
nice.
For me, that's just my favorite. I love it. I love rewatching it every time. It never gets old to me to see them just get universally disrespected, to see Furio get introduced, to fucking like to see these straight up go to Italy thinking that they're Italians and being nothing.
Just
but,
doesn't
but
work
that.
out at all for
and
them.
And then to see Paulie's relief on his face when he gets back to New Jersey, but never being able to admit it.
Yeah.
Never being able to admit it. But you never hear him talk about Italy for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Like there's
After
so
that,
many
it's
elements
done.
to it that I just fucking love, and it's phenomenal.
Okay, was there any characters that we didn't hit that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think we had everything.
We got everybody? Okay, cool.
Not everybody, but everybody that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't like talk about AJ a bunch, but again, I'm kind of with you. We're like, he just kind of
I don't
annoys
like him
me.
as a character.
Yeah,
You know, my favorite moment, it's simultaneously my favorite character moment for AJ and my least favorite character moment for Tony Soprano is when AJ kills himself, and I'm like, oh yeah, finally something that he did that I liked. And then Tony rescues him. I'm like, no, the only thing that's worse than killing fucking Christopher, you save that cunt, like, go let him die in the pool. It's okay. Just let him drown.
Yeah.
That's dark, but it is how I felt. I was like, fuck this character. Like, he's a whiny little bitch the whole time, and that's not what I want in my fucking mafia watching TV show. Like,
but
you know what I mean?
but Tony can't do it. And then again, it's like the thing where it's like, I guess this is as close as we get for love with Tony Soprano. We're like,
Not letting him drown to death
Yeah.
in a pool with a cinder block tied around his fucking ankles.
yeah. and there had just always been conflict between those two characters throughout, like they were constantly butting heads, and there's like the one part where Tony walks in on AJ talking to somebody on like AIM, and he's giggling, and then they cut to Tony at Melfi's, and he's just like on his computer, like fucking giggling like a little schoolgirl. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is he doing? Like, he's just shirtless and fat and sitting there. And he just completely just shits all over his son.
If my dad was still alive, I guarantee those would be the words that he'd be using for me.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's an interesting. It's character that he's not the most likable dude, and it's weird because he was definitely around my age when I was growing up at that time, but I was like, or close to it, and it was just like, AJ, not great. I liked Meadow; she was all right. I can't think of any other side characters we didn't hit that of major importance. All right, man. Well, dude, thank you for deep diving into Seinfeld, Sopranos with Jesus Christ.
Damn, I love Seinfeld.
That's a whole different thing. I don't know if we can get through all of Seinfeld. That's going to be a lot.
Hey, what's with the heroin?
Come on. I'm going to go kill this guy. Kramer has to go kill people.
What's up with the pussy eating? Come on, Junior. What are you doing?
There's just a whole episode.
Smell like sushi.
There's just a whole episode of them not eating pussy for a month. All right, man. Let people know where they can find you online if they want to check you out.
No, I'm just kidding. Cody Hucker. I'll have a podcast out in summertime. I'll promote it, I'm sure. Thanks for listening to me on all the episodes. I hope that you enjoyed this one. Like I said at the beginning, this was a huge undertaking, and I had a couple to drink. I'm sure you could tell. But I hope you had fun listening to us. I always have fun sitting in Tank's basement. And like I said at the beginning of this, it's not just like a good excuse to chill, but I hope I am entertaining people when I talk on a microphone, when I'm given an opportunity like this. And if I am, if you made it this far, thanks for listening to me. I really do genuinely appreciate it as much as I come off as a curmudgeon-y cunt. So yeah, that's it. Cody Hucker on the internet. You'll find me if you want to find me in a new podcast soon.
DM him if you want to give him a digital hug.
There you go. Did that feel like I needed a hug? A little bit.
It was kind of like, it was like,
I'm not trying to go sad boy now.
It's like, thank you for listening to me and validating me and letting letting me know that if somebody could hug me, that'd be awesome. just
hugs are great. I'll take your hugs. I'll take your digital hugs too.
Say nice words on the internet to me.
I gotta piss again. Wrap this up.
All right, we're shutting it down. Listener, to find me at neiltoknoone.com is the website. At neiltoknoone is where you can find me at on Instagram. That's it. Thank you for listening to the show. If you're a fan of The Sopranos, thanks for hanging out with us for this. If you have a friend who's a fan of The Sopranos, share this episode with them. That's definitely a thing that helps grow the show. It helps more than sharing links or anything like that. If you just go and have a friend and go, hey, I think you'd like this episode, share it with them or tell them when you see them in person at the bar, at a restaurant, wherever you're hanging out with people at. Thanks a lot for listening, and peace.